Okay, I think that's it.
Oh, okay.
You should see the little green bar moving.
Yeah, it's moving a little bit.
Yay.
Now it's gotta adjust the camera.
Hmm?
There we go. I think we're good. Are we good? Yay! It looks like we're good. I'm kind of sad.
We're alive!
Sorry.
No.
Yeah. Okay. It wouldn't be Dragons in the Dining Room without technical difficulties. Or a technically difficult DM. I'm not sure which. Anywho, welcome to Dragons in the Dining Room. DMLoxy here, and we are going to kick off this week's Curse of Strahd. Before we do, a couple quick announcements for you. The poll for the giveaway has ended, and the winner was... drumroll, yay, it was Dragon Mini. So this Saturday, sometime during the Lorimir campaign, a random lucky follower, correct, DM Thaco?
Yeah.
Have to be a follower of us. Will be in the running for a giveaway for a dragon miniature. Super excited about that. Can't wait to see who wins it. I'm not sure. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I had a train of thought and it's completely gone.
DM Thaco, do they have to tune in to find out if they win?
Yes, you have to be present and following.
Present and
You have to be
following.
present and following. I did not know that piece, so good to know. If you're not here, so tune in because you want to win. Excuse me as I take a sip of my nondescript carbonated beverage.
And of course, we like having you here, so there you go.
Yeah, so blah, da, 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 da. Where was I going? Alright, so last time on Curse of Strahd, the party faced off against Strahd himself and some odd-looking wolves, black as shadows. Sassafras sacrificed himself for the party by facing a vampire spawn one-on-one, while the rest of the party got the villagers of Barovia to safety. The villagers, however, felt the party had incurred Strahd's wrath, and then turned them out. They were allowed one-night amnesty before the next morning, and they were exiled from the village. Let's regroup with the party and find out what happens next.
I was gonna say I wasn't aware that we were exiled yet. We just ended with Sassafras dying.
The villagers did say, hey, there was some unrest. It was at the very end of last stream. Everyone was kind of like, oh my god, he's dead. So that got a little missed. But yes, the villagers are like, hey, you just brought down the wrath of Strahd upon us. And everyone except Lucy is upset with you guys. Lucy's like, sticking with the pointy end. And everyone else is like, ah! So that's pretty much what happened there.
Great. Thanks, Lucy.
You're welcome. That's not Lucy's voice. So that is where we left off. Sassafras's body, you guys had brought back over the wall and dropped in a grave. And Irina was helping bury him as well. You guys did decide to loot his body. So I'm just going to have his gear piled inside the church at the moment because I don't have his character sheet for you guys to loot.
We can deal with it later.
I was supposed to have that, and unfortunately, Sassafras had a family emergency, so he is not here tonight, both in body or spirit. Sorry. So it is left with you guys in the graveyard, and I need everyone to roll a perception check, please. Hakuba, you get to roll this perception check at advantage.
Oh. That's better. 16?
Okay.
21.
What was that?
21.
Woo!
10.
Hakuba
Yeah.
and
Also the
Arcana.
roll. So.
Yes, Arcana. Callista. Campaign!
She's got it! Come on, Jim, she's got it!
I was so excited about that.
It's the little things that count.
I prepped for 2 different campaigns this morning, and at some point, I don't know at what point, someone else was at the table. I was over at Double Dane's prepping, and Ben looks up and he goes, I thought that character was in this campaign. Oh shit! I completely crossed storylines and wires. Kind of like when you're not paying attention in Taekwondo and you start doing one pattern, and halfway through you're like, this is not what I started doing.
That's fun to do, by the way.
That,
How did I get here?
So that's what happened. Hakuba and Eric are... Stop it. It's not dead yet. In Arcana, you notice that as Strahd and his minions are fading back into the woods and you're pulling Sassafras back, you see Stornock making some weird hand gestures in the direction of Strahd. Almost like he's trying to communicate. Arcana, you see a slight nod from Strahd back towards Stornock.
Something's going on with Stornock and Strahd.
Hmm? What?
I mean, and Stornock's only about 15 feet away from you guys at this point.
Is this whispered or not?
I didn't whisper it.
Hold on, let's see.
I'm gonna look at...
Notice your you did not notice. He was focused on trying not to be noticed doing what he's doing. And I mean, there was no perceptible...
I did not, but...
There was no... You couldn't tell, like, what was going on. He just, like, made this little hand gesture, and then he saw, like, a... Yeah, bro. Chin up from Strahd.
And I actually don't trust him even from before when...
Which is why you rolled an advantage, because you've been stated many times that you are keeping an eye out. So, Elder Brother Friar, Brother Doc... Wait, no.
Elder Brother Friar, Father...
Elder Brother Friar, Father Donovich. It comes out and... My friends, I am sorry for the way things transpired. Please... The night here is yours, but in the morning, I fear for your safety and the church's. If you do not depart, the village will riot, if only because they feel they have now incurred the wrath of Strahd by challenging him.
Fair enough.
It was nice, though, to have hope, if you only for a moment.
I'm sorry, we couldn't have made it longer.
For once in my lifetime, there was a moment where I forgot to be afraid, and that is enough for me. And possibly Lucy.
Lucy seems to be smitten with us, so that's great. But
she is a spirited child. I believe
just
they call
hopefully
her.
that spirit doesn't get her killed.
You hope as well as I.
One thing, Father.
Yes, comrade.
Don't lose hope. There's always a way. Take it from one who has had to find a way many times.
I will remember this. Before we go any further, Aaron, is your phone on silent? Because that totally made me think of that.
That was mine, I'm sorry.
Turning it off.
You're fine.
Nobody's going to be calling me tonight.
Oh.
Angry Strahd rant. Perfect monologue of doom.
Such dire news and all of a sudden. So happy.
I had the mood set.
And ruined by Thank you, phone.
Thank you, Baymax.
Did that tone come on your phone or did it down?
I downloaded it because it was
yeah,
from the Hero 6. So.
It's just a little bit. There we go. Oh. So, I mean, evening is coming upon you. It's about 6:30. Father Donovich, Elder Brother Friar, Father Donovich tells you, oh, see if I don't think about it a bit. Go ahead, make a fire back here if you need.
No.
He said that the church is open to you as well, but he's like, yeah, there's some villagers in there, and they're kind of like, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
Are all the villagers staying in the church for the night?
Many of them are.
Okay, not all of them, but many of them.
Correct.
And my question would be, I would like to find Irena and see if we are still taking her to, I don't remember where we were taking her. Kresk, I think.
Kresk, yes. She is wandering the graveyard and touching some of the gravestones. Seems to be half praying, half lost in thought. I would still.
I didn't want to say that out loud.
I do what? I was gonna say I don't have stream up, so I'm
No, I didn't put it on for the last one.
Thanks for that!
That's wonderful. Can't say it on stream. Sorry.
That's why I did not do that.
Oh.
That's lovely. That's
I had just found my train of thought. It was right there!
Irena was half
Sorry.
in thought,
That's alright.
wandering around the gravestones, touching the
Yeah,
gravestones, half praying, half.
I still feel that me leaving Barovia would be best. If Strahd is after me, maybe when he realizes I am not here, he will leave everyone alone. I think it odd, though, that he has had such a fascination, and yet paid me no mind at this last encounter.
That's very interesting, actually, yes. Because why, if he's so dead set on you as for whatever purpose that might be, why did he completely ignore you the whole time?
Maybe he has become enamored. I do not know.
With
I do not know. Maybe
enamored.
he was distracted by someone else. I do not know.
Hmm.
What? I think we'll say that I think we should leave early tomorrow. If you, Arcana, you said something about
Madam
a
Ava.
fortune teller in your head?
Yes.
Right? Madam Ava?
Madam
Well-
Ava, yeah.
Yes.
The Vistani. Let's see. Do you know where she is?
Serpool.
Serpul. That is on the way to Kresk. If we.
Wasn't there a windmill somewhere here?
Yes. The windmill from. I just lost their last
History
name.
lady.
Oh, the end. No.
Durst.
The
The
Durst
Durst family
family.
windmill.
Right.
Yes, it is actually southeast of the village, so by the river. And if we are going to go to Serpool, the road, and she folds out the map, and you see here's the village of Barovia. Southeast is the windmill. It's as if I'm looking at the map. Sorry.
Sure.
And then from the village, the road kind of does one of these numbers through the trees, and then goes up to a lake over here where
Okay.
Serpool is. The windmill, she tells you, is about 3 miles. 2.5, 3 miles. Because Barovia is so much set in a forest, they put the windmill by the river. That way, if the winds failed, they had a water wheel to help churn.
Okay.
And she does know that is where I'm losing my voice. Not good. Excuse me. That is where the peddler woman who sells the dream pastries resides.
Is in the windmill.
Yes,
Okay.
has taken up residence there.
How much do you know about the peddler woman?
She is an old woman. She sells the dream pastries for a gold, and sometimes she will take children in exchange of gold. I have never tasted them,
I don't suggest it.
but I am told that if you eat one, you forget your troubles, you forget your sorrows, and everything is as it should be for a short time. And
Yes.
first it's free. I just switched.
First, the first is free.
Is what she keeps saying. Just this, here, try one out of the goodness of my heart. And then these people, they eat it. and their eyes become like glass.
I've seen something similar before. I don't suggest eating any of the pastries, otherwise you may suffer a far worse fate than just being in bliss.
Also, do you know anything about the Durst family?
If they have been gone for generations, their house still stands. But it occasionally clouds over in mist. It is said to be haunted. No one from Barovia goes there. It is known.
I believe we've been in this house.
There is legend, but it has been many generations. But it is always referred to as the Durst windmill. Or, yes. She wouldn't know that. Hang on, yes.
No.
The Durst windmill. I was going to say something else, and I'm like, wait!
No! Break!
What have you then? Do we go seek out this Madame Ava? What business have you with the peddler woman?
I need to find out if she is working in conjunction with Strahd.
These I do not know, but I do know that she does not seem afraid of anyone or anything.
Not even Strahd, or the idea of him. You don't know.
I do not know, but an old woman by herself should be afraid of things, I think.
And the fact that she takes children makes me a little more suspicious.
There has always been rumors of a witch, but no one has dared pursue her.
So, what do you suggest? Do you have a thought about...
Well, this Madame Eva said that she can assist us, but I don't know if we can trust her.
I'm wondering how she came in contact with you when you and I and all of us are not from here. So it's interesting to know that she came in contact with you without even knowing who you are.
Callista,
You know what I mean?
roll me a wisdom save.
A wisdom save?
A wisdom save!
A wisdom save.
Yeah!
15.
I can contact you too, dearie. You hear in your head. It is your magic of the arcane that allows me to do so.
Can I talk to her without talking to anybody else? Like,
You can try.
I don't like that you can try. Fine.
You have ranger spell cards.
I do.
Yeah,
Can I borrow?
Yeah.
like these ones right here.
Or those ones right there.
Whichever.
Thank you.
Who's your favorite wife?
The only one I have.
Well, that settles that quandary.
That was
then, doesn't
hilarious.
Are those ranger or are those druid?
it?
Because these are
Who's your
rangers.
druid?
Oh, sorry about that.
You're still my favorite old wife.
Hold on. Just kidding. I handed you the wrong.
Just stop. It's okay. He has them. It's okay.
Did the camera catch that?
I
Probably.
I was wondering why they were cantrips.
I'm going to respond with, do you just seek out magic then?
No, but you stand out a bit as a beacon in this world. I am aware of the ebb and flow of magic in this land. It's a curse of being an old seer.
Interesting. All right. Thank you. So, Madam Ava, just I don't know if it was all in my head or not. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
it was all in your head. You would be safe here if you sought me out, and perhaps I could be of use in your fight against Strahd.
Thank you. And I will relay that, yes, she just spoke to me as well. That's lovely.
Hi, Vistra.
Hi,
North, represent.
Well, hearing voices in your head, I'm quite concerned.
It is because of magic.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
And
Interesting.
At this point, I need everyone to roll perception, please.
Same as last time.
Hakuba.
16.
10.
18.
Okay.
She's hyper observant tonight.
I'm
not.
Actually, Arcana, you are the only one who notices this. You look over as you realize Stornock has not been interjecting in the conversation, and he is walking along the far edge of the wall, and you see out of the woods one of the shadow wolves right on the edge of the woods.
I'm gonna nudge them and point.
As she points it out, you watch as Stornock, Mr. 23, Stornock goes to do his poofy thing into a bush, and without hesitation, this wolf leaps over the wall, grabs the back of his shirt by the scruff of the neck. He's about 40 feet to the north of you. And makes like he's going to jump over the wall while carrying Stornock by the scruff of his shirt.
Does Stornock look like he's fighting this guy?
Roll me another perception.
All of us or just him?
Anyone who wants to know, but Hakuba's...
So 15.
16.
19. The one time
He
I
looks
looked
like he's struggling, but you feel like if you were being carried off by one of these things, you'd be struggling a hell of a lot more than he is.
I'm going to nudge and be like,
I'll give you guys one round if you want to interfere. Nom. Yes.
that's a bit too convenient, don't you think? I'm going to whisper this to the two of them, because I'm assuming we were
You
in
guys
close
are within
conversation.
about 15 feet. Irina goes to... She misses it. She's not observant.
No, let's see what he does.
Nope, never mind. I lost my train of thought completely.
I don't trust him.
So
I don't
nobody's
trust him
gonna go after, interfere.
We're just gonna observe, I think.
As you look
Because-
over, you see Stornock go, "Leave me! Save yourselves!" As the wolf jumps back over the wall,
He definitely would not
carrying
say
him
that.
off into the woods.
No, something's up.
Right.
He's not the type to do that. Besides, she's a rogue. He should be able to get out of that easily.
Right.
Maybe he was caught off guard.
What do you guys want to do?
Leave me, save yourselves. Okay. I guess we do what he says.
He has not been the type to.
He hasn't been very trustworthy.
I was going to say.
Every time we were in a combat of any sort, he's disappeared and left us alone.
Mm-hmm. He's more about saving himself, so to be heroic like this, no. Something's up.
No, and
And what we saw before.
Mm-hmm.
right, too convenient for him to be what you saw him communicating with. We thought.
I mean, you weren't. I mean, Hakuba, you're like, I think he was just waving. Was he flipping him off? Arcana, you're like, is he biting his thumb at Strahd? No. What?
Come bite my thumb.
That's some really weird finger movement. And I think Strahd did the like, hey bro, or like, I don't know. Yeah. You're not, something happened, but you're not sure what. I saw that. So bad.
But he hasn't been heroic, not in the slightest. He's been very, like you said, for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time we saw the wolves, there were way more than just the one.
And like I said, he should be able to get himself out of that. He's clever. I mean, take a look back at the mansion. This rings of untruth here.
Right, so, Irina looks over. What is the dwarf?
He disappears a lot.
Oh,
And goes off on his own a lot.
well, best of luck to him surviving.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling we will be seeing him again, but probably not on so much friendly terms.
The hell!
It's all random. He's gonna be fine.
Hey, I did that on the table earlier. It was great.
Please hold. Your session is important to us. Your DM is experiencing a current mental breakdown. We'll be with you shortly.
Yep.
Of all the blasted things you could randomly put together. Oh, my face is fantastic. I just saw that. Right then, so
Yes, I have a feeling that we may be seeing him again, except on not so friendly terms.
elder brother Friar Father Donovich. I almost said that. Because I was trying not to.
Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Ding!
It comes out and says, I would be honored to keep watch tonight so you can get rest if need be.
That's kind of
I know Strahd was supposedly a warrior, and he did
Please.
swear a warrior's oath.
Will you tell us a little bit more about his before him being a vampire?
I don't know.
But you just said he was a warrior.
Well, there's stories.
Mm-hmm.
It is said that Strahd settled the land of Barovia and named the castle Ravenloft after his mother.
Okay.
His family came here to live with him. At some point it is said that he made a pact with dark powers when he was overcome with jealousy. Over
Jealousy.
what? I do not know.
Okay.
The lore is a bit muddled there. Vistani would probably know. They are the lore keepers.
You could talk to your girlfriend.
Somehow I think that would not be a good idea.
Oh,
Really?
snap!
I have a feeling we'd be doing something other than just talking.
Roll me a con save.
Can't say.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. 18, 19, 20.
Perfect. For the
Okay.
briefest moment when she says your girlfriend, you have this vague flash of a memory of you sitting back in the tavern and Sassafras admiring himself in his scales, and this wave of sadness briefly, and it's like that quick mist up, and then you're good. You're able to get past it, but there's a
I think I've got an sun in my eyes.
It's something in the corner.
So unless you guys want to do anything else before nightfall.
Actually, I do. I'm gonna get with Father.
Donovich?
Donovich. We'll just go with that. We'll go with that. About
It's a quiet
creating.
Exactly. There's a reason I'm quiet.
Creating trap finder.
The gears are going. Oh, that's right. Trap Finder 3.750.
Right.
Um,
Wasn't where the 2 disappeared suddenly, but okay, we'll go with 3.750.
all right. And so what are you just gonna see if maybe he'll help you work on him, or
Yeah, basically dress up and.
Yeah, he says that he has a spell that he believes he can cast that will help cure the hide quicker than normal overnight.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
So he will work on that. and then says he will see if maybe he can use some batting from inside to stuff it a
I'd
bit.
also like to take some of the soil around here and add that to that.
Oh, all right. You're going to.
It's the salt of the earth. That's what's good, you know.
You're going to stuff a dead wolf full of hallowed ground graveyard soil.
I love her face right now. I completely love her face right now.
I'm not sure if I want to high five you or sprinkle it's fine.
That's amazing.
I love you a little bit.
I really am so glad that this came to be so that I could see that face. We talked about this the day after we've talked about or that night that we talked about Trap Fighter 2.0 after we fought the wolf. Well, that was last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Father Donovich says he will help you with that a little bit, and you guys are able, despite everything that's happened, you get a peaceful night's rest. There's no angry villagers with pitchforks. There's nothing that comes from the woods. Everything seems quiet except for the strangely overcast sky. Everything is normal.
I'll do it on break actually.
Okay. Is there a thing I need to be aware of?
There's a thing on the flash drive that will.
It's basically what if we were late, he was gonna have you maybe RP it or show you what he was gonna do.
Yes, on break, show me, and we will we will actually work with that.
Okay.
And do it before we leave. I assume before we leave.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. Essentially, what it is, it's while we're in the graveyard, there's something that goes on without these guys' knowledge.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah.
Because-
Actually, otherwise,
Yeah.
while they're
Yeah.
asleep, we can do that if you can give me like a super quick rundown of what you're doing, or do you want to like?
I was gonna say, do you want
Step
us to
out?
leave so that we can?
Yeah, go ahead. You two,
Why don't
go
we
sit
step
here on
out?
the porch and like bother my husband for a little bit.
Send me a text when you guys are done.
Yeah, we'll do. Otherwise, I'll have Hakuba yell at you.
Yeah, that works too.
Or yodel at you. I think like maybe yodeling would be a good addition. Like the yodeling vet of the Alps. You've heard that, right? This is a song for your poor sick penguin. He has a fever and his toes are blue. But if I sing for your poor sick penguin, you will feel better in a day or two.
Nope, I haven't heard that.
You need to. Look up yodeling vet of the Alps. It's totally worth it. Alright, fire away, Hakuba. What's
Okay.
going on?
So basically, what that all boils down to is I'm going to take an item from the paladin
Okay.
and go through the spiel where I'm half yelling at the gods, but at the same time half saying, that this is, you need something other than a champion to take down the Strahd, and I'm offering my contract.
So you're offering your contract to whatever deity will listen.
Yep, any deity of light. Or any deity on the light side, so to speak. And like I said, I have it all written down kind of in the story form.
Okay.
It's only a couple of paragraphs. And the contract is open to whatever, because I mean, Hakuba is going to offer his own contract, but of course, him being in awe of whatever deity that
Right.
may.
So I mean, you're walking out among the gravestones, and you're angry.
Mhm.
Sassafras is gone, and he died very nobly.
That was such a
And
fantastic fight. That.
yeah, I mean, it was actually good, but it's that image of Strahd holding up his head is just burned in your memory, and you can smell the fear of the villagers, the smell of the air, the acrid tang of blood, that brief moment of hopelessness where you thought all was lost, and this feeling of anger rises up inside you, and you shout out that you would offer a contract, and you hear a voice in your head. What is it that you offer?
And the rest of that I'd like to do on break.
Perfect. We will get back to that. And then that may not feed back into stream. But you feel, for the briefest moment, you feel a presence settle over you. And it doesn't feel ominous. It doesn't feel dark. It's just different.
Okay.
Perfect. Go yodel at them.
Yodeling.
Hola! That moment when you realize you're not as prepared as you should be. Okay. Haku was gonna throw me for a loop. Let's see who can mess with him. I would never, as a DM, ever do that to my player.
She had to do documentation for them to be there.
And yeah, the rest of that I think you will have a lot of fun with because I left it open to whatever.
Like, let's just be clear, there's ideas. My brain's going. The hamster wheel is spinning at full velocity. So we got hamster wheels. Alright, the next morning dawns pretty, what you would assume would be a fair and bright morning. If it wasn't for this horrible overcast cloud cover, it would be gorgeous. The weather is a bit warmer than it was the day before, and everything seems a little bit brighter than it was. I mean, it's still gray, it's still overcast, but it's that you feel like if the sun could peek through, it would. And you're like, oh, maybe. No. Just kidding. And Father Donovan, Elder Friar, wow, Friar brother, Father Donovich.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
but
Donnie!
You're not sorry.
I'm not sorry. I think it's awesome.
I just couldn't say it out loud.
It's so great.
Has made you all breakfast. And bids you Godspeed and sketches out a very, very brief map for you. Which I believe at some point I did show you guys.
We saw the map of the town, but we didn't see anything.
There's a
over
bigger map. So, you guys
Oh yeah.
are here.
there. Okay.
The windmill is down here. He tells you if you take the road out of the village, you'll go across the bridge, kind of loop around, and then there'll be a crossroads. And if you go north, it'll take you up to Sayre Pool, and if you go south, you can circumvent it. Valaki is up here, and Kresk is like way the hell over there somewhere.
So very far west.
Yes,
Okay.
very, very far west.
Is that a map that Irena has as well?
Yes.
Okay.
That is, it's about the same. It's not quite that detailed,
But it's
but you get the general idea.
okay.
So is Sayre Pool closer or Crest?
Kresk is way far away. Sayre Pool is on the way to Kresk.
So
Okay, is the windmill closer or is...
The windmill is southeast, so we would have to go there first and then make our way
Or
west.
you could backtrack. You don't know, okay? Because here's the village where you guys are. The windmill is southeast of you.
Right, and then Sayre Pool is northwest
The
of us.
Sayre Pool is here. Pool.
Okay, Sayre Pool is there. We could go that way or we could go the other way. Okay.
That's what you're looking at.
Okay.
Multitask. What?
Oh my goodness. You need 2 more arms. It'll be, golden to do whatever. Yeah.
I want this. We're streaming shit.
Yes, we are. And clips can happen. Please, Vistra, please, please, please.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
So
My
where do
life, you
want
guys.
First?
perhaps we should seek out your seer because, well, I have a feeling we're going to need all the help that we can get. If she's genuine, this may be a good chance.
Yeah.
Right.
She seemed
I think we'll leave the witch, if that's what she is, for now, until we can find out a little bit more information. Otherwise, I would like to find out a bit more about the...
Well, if this seer, Madame Eva, knows so much about magic as she does, she may have more information about about the peddler woman than we would know.
And about Strahd himself. I'm very interested in that.
Okay. Perfect.
We just had a phone go off. And it was a Gab's phone.
Okay, so stop. Whatever. Stop it. Okay.
I'm not doing it.
So by looking at the map, you guys can tell that this encampment of Madame Eva's is a good. It's going to be a good half day's travel. I mean, traveling conditions seem fair, and on foot, you're like, you know, if we don't stop to smell the roses and we push it, we could make it there in 3.5, 4 hours.
So by noonish, depending on what time we're leaving.
Yeah. Yep. It's about 7. You're eating breakfast. Everyone's back to full hit points. All your spell slots are recovered.
We're still level 3, or?
At the moment, yes.
Okay, just double checking.
Kiara, can someone turn out the kitchen light, please?
I was gonna say he's trying to get us to level faster.
No,
I appreciate it.
no.
I like it.
Patience, child.
I've never had
So-
that great of patience.
Is there any last thing you want to say to Elder Brother Friar Father Donovich before you leave?
Just to thank him for his graciousness and to try to keep the villagers' hope alive.
I will do my best. And if you find my son, Doru, you are right. Slay him. There is no redemption for him now.
I promise you this. If at all possible, we will make it as quick and as painless as we can.
I appreciate it.
Is there anything that we can do for you before we leave?
Get Irina out of here.
Protect Lucy, please, if you can.
I have
Just
some
that one is
work
a
here at the
scar.
church that I believe might need her handiwork. I will keep her in safe ground as often as I can.
Thank you.
These wolves, they are new. I have never seen their like. Well, there's wolves all over the place. Howie! I have a sliver, and so I've been absent-mindedly trying to get it out, and right as I was talking, I hit it, and it dug deeper in my thumb. So that's what happened there. Oh, thanks.
Or here's even needle nose ones.
Oh no, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was great.
Anyway.
I will keep her here
Thank you.
as often as possible. You, if I had means by which to heal you or send potions, I would. But,
I think I have done enough for us.
he gives you Trap Finder 2.0. It is mostly cured.
Okay.
It's almost as if he dried it
Okay.
magically. And he gives you a sack of 2 pounds of 4 pounds of graveyard soil that is hallowed ground, and it's just in a sack. It's not in Trap Finder's skin yet.
So it's like
Okay.
a
So basically, waiting until he cures completely, and then.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He recommends giving it a few more days. The more you can have it out in the sun, the better. You know,
Gotcha.
or maybe wear him on your back or something. I don't know.
Actually, I'll probably carry him on my back while I'm taking Trapfinder 1.0 and keep going.
Okay, I'm going to stay like a little ways away from you because I have a feeling you will smell.
More than he does already. Yes. I mean, he's a half orc.
That's basically why I was like, okay.
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
How much liberty can I have with what you told me about your character there, Hakuba?
What do you?
I have idea.
Do you need us to disappear?
No. Do you have any preferences to the answer you receive, or who answers you?
Not.
Running with it. You said no. Okay, so
But you may want to look at that first before you make a final decision.
I will.
Okay.
But like my inner DM is drooling a little.
Okay.
You're hilarious right now.
I'm so excited.
You're hilarious right now. I love the fact that you're excited. That's actually kind of fun to see.
So don't die and screw it up, damn it.
I don't know if that's up to me.
For the record, nobody was supposed to die last session. Like, I went into that session and had the thought, well, at least no one will die tonight. I thought that!
I'm sorry! I provoked him! What do you want from me?
I wonder if when George R. R. Martin sits down to write, if he's like, I'm not going to kill anyone today. And then just, red wedding. I think that's how that happened. Mystery solved.
I am sorry. That was pretty much my fault, considering I, provoked Strahd to come out and show himself.
Actually, my character believes it is his fault because he didn't grab him while he had the chance.
Are
So
you guys
there's part of that too.
to the road as you travel?
I think that would probably
Probably the safest.
Safest, plus also we would question what Irina
Mm-hmm.
would suggest as far as...
would stay to the roads. Anyone who wanders in the woods, sometimes they come back, sometimes they do not. Even on the roads, it is not safe. But it is safer than walking into something's den.
Good to know. So then yes, we will stay to the roads.
Marching order. Because that'll never be important.
I'll go last.
I'll probably stay by wherever Arena or whatever. Arena, yeah. I'll probably stay by her, kind of as bodyguard-ish.
Okay.
So
I'll go third then.
Okay.
To the magic casters in the back.
Okay. So we've
Irina,
got Hakuba, Irina,
me,
Callista, Arakana.
Yep.
Perfect. First hour goes by, and it's quiet. I mean, normal woods quiet. There's bird song.
So there's nothing fishy quiet. It's just
it's just
peaceful
it's
quiet.
Yeah. Irina seems very withdrawn into herself, and every once in a while you see her like absent-mindedly rub her neck where the bite marks from Strahd are. Not in a creepy way, but you can tell that she's very much preoccupied with thoughts of her brother, thoughts of home, her father dying, her, why her? There's
Lost in thought.
yeah, very, very much so. The second hour as well passes fairly peacefully. You see a few rabbits run across the road, but nothing. It's early enough in the day that you feel like most predators probably aren't out in their force yet.
In theory,
also going to-
wolves are nocturnal, so therefore, or not nocturnal, but we would kind of guess that they would come out at night. But then, we've already dealt with them during the day.
So
I'm gonna try to break her out of her train of thought, just to take her mind off things and just strike up a conversation.
about what?
Oh, about first starting off with what troubles you?
Just thinking of what the future holds. Who knows if Kresk will be safe? Who knows if my brother will be able to get out of his ale and step up? Who knows if there is a way out of this cursed land? Maybe this Madame Eva will know.
Maybe.
About 2.5 hours in, you guys come to the bridge that crosses the river Iblis.
The river what?
Iblis.
Iblis?
Ivlis. And the bridge is in surprisingly good condition. It's a stone bridge and looks very much akin to what you'd see in like a palace garden.
Interesting.
That same style of architecture. I mean, there's some moss on it, but it's solid. It's not cracked or
Like there's no
crumbling
cracks
broken.
or. Interesting.
And
But it doesn't look maintained. Like it doesn't look.
No, but it seems like the craftsmanship was quite superb.
Castles last a long time most of the time, so.
See as let's see if I can actually. My map is upside down. That doesn't help.
Not well. Depends on which way you want to go. If you want to go that way or that way. But don't go
and
that
cross, you guys notice like the road goes south and the river goes north.
Okay.
And as you come around, you can see that it joins up again.
Okay.
And it seems odd that the road would diverge. Everyone roll me perception. Don't die.
18.
13.
17. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're right. Anyone who rolled over 15, that patch of woods gives you just kind of this hinky vibe. Like the fine hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Irina seems a little, like her hand is on her sword hilt. It's not, she doesn't draw her sword, but it's there, and she goes, I feel maybe this side of the road is better than that one. And you're able to pass by without incident, but there's that nagging like,
Am I clueless?
Yes, you're like, hey, why is everyone acting weird?
Do you feel anything strange in this part of the woods?
No?
Okay. Interesting.
Huh.
Do you?
Yes, I'm not liking the feel of this section over there.
We should maybe mark it on the map or here and move on.
Irina agrees, and she pulls out her map and makes some little scribbles with some charcoal. And then you see that the road comes and rejoins next to the river for a little bit. And up ahead you can see a crossroads. And you approach this. My book is not liking me today. Just throwing that out there. You come up to this crossroads, and the road bisects north and south. And there is a sign, wooden sign with the arrows pointing in two different directions. You see Sairpool to the north, and you see Valaki to the south. But you can tell from Irina's map that you could get to Valaki either way. Or it looks like you might be able to. It's kind of broken up. But what strikes you most is that the signs are not attached to a signpost. They are attached to a gallows.
What?
And an empty noose is swaying in the breeze.
You see this, right?
I was
Okay.
going to say, heck of a way to welcome someone into your county.
I guess.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll me a wisdom save. Please.
10?
Arcana, you are struck with an immense pain in your mind as you're looking at this gallows, watching the noose sway, and all of a sudden it feels as if something has shocked through your mind, and hanging in that gallows, you see yourself, lifeless, as if your last breath has just escaped you, body still twitching in death throes, hanging from that noose. Yeah, you've got hands on your head, you're staring at the gallows,
I'm
screaming.
screaming.
Irina draws her sword, she's looking around.
I'm gonna grab onto her And
Make a wisdom save as you grab onto her.
fine.
Did you roll a 5?
I did.
So, that's exactly what I rolled.
The exact same thing happens to you. And you now see just an empty swinging noose.
I'm going to scream as well. Now. And do
Arcana,
I remember
you,
this?
yeah,
This.
oh yeah, you remember. So you have a pretty good idea because the vision stopped the moment her hands touched you.
What's going on?
Noose bad self-death.
And Irina walks over and puts her hand on your shoulder, and the vision fades from your mind, and you watch Irina look at the noose and go, I don't get it. What did you... What? Where is the enemy?
There's no enemy. That I saw myself in the noose,
Alive or dead?
dead,
Dead.
hanging from the noose.
And she looks at it and she walks around the gallows, and it's only about a 5x5 platform with just 2 wooden beams and a rope. I see nothing strange, Hakuba.
I don't either. But just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna Legolas that shit.
You're going to shoot an arrow at the... I almost said gazebo.
Gazebo?
Wait, did you name Eric?
Should we still be going?
But that's a +2 arrow! It's a gazebo! It doesn't do anything!
But I don't know if we can trust it.
But
And nothing happens.
No, no. Okay.
Your arrow sticks in there, and that's all she wrote.
but why?
Oh.
Just that no.
Alright, so you have you're at the crossroads. There's north, there's south.
Whew.
Do we go to
There's gallows.
Valaki
You
or
okay,
do we
Joe?
go to Serpool?
I'm feeling sorry for the guy on this show.
Oh.
Dislocated his shoulder.
Oh, ugh. Okay.
Just to be a kind of a whatever about this, I'm actually going to cut the noose off and throw it off to the side.
Okay, as you cut the noose off, you guys hear what sounds like a shriek. Just this unearthly. That was a horrible shriek before that.
But it was
And-
effective enough.
It almost as if a shadow from the gallows and then fades off.
What did you...
I think I killed it.
Or
Can
set it free?
We as magic people understand any of this or know anything?
Do you...
You could roll an arcana. If you said desire.
I don't know what I would roll.
17.
20.
You get the feeling that this gallows was cursed, and
Okay.
that somehow it was tied within it, and Hakuba severing the rope broke whatever the trigger was for the bewitching that happened when people would gaze at it.
That's lovely.
I'm gonna thank Akuba.
I mean,
What
and
did I do?
looking at it, and in hindsight, you have that moment of, oh my gosh, he could have set something free, just like that statue with the orb.
Right.
But you guys seriously lucked out this time.
Probably shouldn't do that every time we did come across something like that, but thank you. Anyway,
You're welcome. I figured that it was affecting people, so I tried to stop it. So.
no, I appreciate that, but also remember the orb in the manor.
All right.
And that's literally all you have to see is like, oh,
Oh
yeah.
yes.
Uh,
that thing.
The gallows are a witch burner. She was a witch, they dressed me up like this. She turned me into a newt.
Neat.
I got better. Hi, Sam. And which way are you guys going?
Should we still check her out?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think, well, I don't know, but I just have a feeling that we may be able to at least see what she knows.
You guys continue on the road to the north, and you get closer to, I mean, it's only about a half hour past this crossroads, and you hear what sounds like good-natured revelry. You hear some swords clanging together. Hakuba, you immediately recognize the sound as rapiers clashing, which kind of strikes you as a little out of place. And as you come around the bend in the road, you see two men in brightly colored clothing, vests of red and purple, orange and bright blue sashes, in these loosely fitting pants, going back and forth good-naturedly with rapiers, taunting each other. There's some jests about the other's mother going on.
So we found Puke and Snot.
No, these guys are classy.
Oh, okay.
So we found Littleton and Robin Hood. Great.
Yes.
Lovely.
Like if Little John and Robin and the Tortuga twins had a child.
Well,
That is what's happening
I was
here.
gonna say,
I
it's
love that I know what you're talking about.
It's the Merry Men show from
Yes.
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 Renaissance Festival.
Yes. Oh, I want to go.
I
It's so bad.
Oh,
They are wearing loose-fitting pants.
I'm wearing not so tight.
And you see that there are you see the map in front of you. There's a variety of tents and outbuildings. One tent is considerably larger than the other, and is
Which
covered
direction are we coming in from?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank
Hold on. You guys
There's
are
the-
coming in from that corner.
Okay.
And there's a
We
little
need to
dirt
borrow
path.
somebody's possession.
Yeah, figure out minis. The bedroll that's in between those two tents. Do you want to move that one? Yes, that one.
Move it where?
No. Move it. I don't know, anywhere.
Hmm?
Just so it's not in the way. Perfect.
By the horses.
Because that's where you guys would come in. Is at the back of those tents.
We need
Here, you can just use a D4.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
That works.
And you hear as they're going, you hear the notes of a pan flute, and the third note in the scale is just slightly off. Not enough to make a discordant sound, but almost like it, when it's played in a third, like it's harmonizing with itself.
Overtones, yay!
Yes! And
Annoying overtones,
there
yay!
are a couple women that you recognize as Vistani that look very similar to the maids from the tavern, that have bells and coins on their skirts, and they're dancing to this pan flute, and their hair is unbound and loose, their elbows are uncovered. Woo!
Bum skirts, see the ankles.
Yes, you can see their ankles and their elbows. It is quite scandalous.
Can you see shoulders?
I don't know, we might see collarbone.
Yeah, there's just a hint of collarbone. And they seem.
That was brilliant, Lily.
That was good. And they seem to pay you no mind. I mean, you see one of the men who's fencing briefly look over and then go right back to fencing as if you were of no threat or concern to him.
Are they all wearing that we can see color? Like,
Right,
all
I
the
mean,
bright
we're talking
colors?
think
Like-
gypsies.
Like Lucy.
Yes.
Okay.
They're, well, I mean, Lucy had a swatch of color. These guys are nothing but color. The wagons are brightly arrayed, bright red curtains hanging in there, and there are horses tied up. You know that horses are very hard to come by from what you found in the village, and these horses look like they are very well taken care of. There is a dappled mare that has black socks but she's gray with the blacks.
Freckles, essentially.
Thank you. Whew, that word. And then there is a chestnut roan that just, you're like, oh. And they are over by.
I just killed
You just tipped over the horse. We're in horse tipping mode, apparently. Like,
Yes, they don't stand well on their own. And one of the women looks over. Come, sit by our fire, enjoy our drink. Welcome to our camp. Grandmother is expecting you.
oh dear Lord. Okay, great. Thank you. Keep moving, I guess.
And she walks over, and as she walks, it's almost as if she floats above the ground. I mean, her feet are walking, but it's as if the natural sway and movements of her body are at the same time a part of the ground that she's walking on. Like she's gliding through nature and has this air of joy about her at the same time. And you instantly feel at ease in her presence. You feel a little happy. And she comes up and she goes to put her arm around Irina and goes, "My dear, you are safe here. He cannot see you within the walls of our camp." Roll me an arcane check, magic users. Sorry, Hawk.
That's okay. I'm paying attention to Trap Under 1 and 2.
14. Wait.
You're on deck.
Yes, 14.
17.
Both of you realize as you walk past the back edge, about 5 feet out from the back edge of the tents, it feels like you walk through a force field of sorts. You just get this brief tingle. And you realize there is something magical. You turn behind you and you can still see the woods behind you as normal, but you feel as if you went through something.
So it's like the Harry Potter shield that they use.
Like the barrier.
Yeah, it feels like you went through a magical barrier of sorts, but you don't feel... Wait, why do you guys get chocolate?
What? Chocolate? There's chocolate? What?
Thank you.
Oh gosh, I almost got... I wasn't sure if that was going in my mouth or down my shirt. Either way, I was happy, but we missed.
Thank you. It's fun size too.
Just a moment, DM's enjoying chocolate.
There you go.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I got $15 for my book and my books and a piece of chocolate from the bookstore today.
Nice.
I sold my books.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have you inside the tent, and I'll flag you shortly. I feel like eat like another M&M. This is really good.
They're like Reese's M&M.
Peanut butter W&Ws.
Okay.
Just turn them upside down.
Okay.
Hey, that's upside down for me.
Oh, that was good.
If you spin
I'm
around
happy now.
fast enough, it's...
Oh, sorry.
Anyway.
I'm a little derailed today. Anyway.
So, where are we going to see this?
Grandmother, Madam, you would know her as Madam Eva. She
Yes.
told me she spoke with you. Come in. I know you have no reason to trust us, but believe me when I say you are safe here. The devil Strahd will not bother our camp.
Can you tell us why that is?
No, but grandmother will.
Okay. Also, we met 3 women that looked similar to you in Barovia.
They are not of our camp. They
So
all the
suspect.
Stony are.
Travelers?
Yes, we are travelers between realms, as it were.
Between what?
We can come and it's grandmother will explain.
Okay, grandmother it is.
The pathways of the world are open to us. No one else can leave this realm without Strahd's interference.
So
Us,
does that include
as
the
long
3?
as we do
women?
not interfere with him, we go as we will. I imagine grandmother will have quite the story for you.
I imagine. Does that mean that that's something that those 3 women did as well? Potentially.
Perhaps.
Okay. To grandmother, please, Madam Ava.
To grandmother's house we go.
We have gone through the woods.
We
Yes, we did over
And
the
over
Okay, I have to collect my thoughts here because this is a doozy, and this is all on the DM.
Uh-oh. She's got to get in character. That's love.
Alright, there we go.
As this woman leads you into the camp, she brings you in front of the largest tent, which is kind of circular, and I believe it's closer to the front of Hakuba. The 2 fencers stand to the side. The smell in the camp is jovial. You smell mushrooms and onions and bacon.
Bacon!
Yeah,
You said it, I gave you
You
bacon.
I know. Bacon!
The 2 fencers stand aside to make way, to make sure you don't feel threatened. Everyone seems light-hearted and upbeat for the most part. And even Irina seems a bit more relaxed. And as this woman leads you in front of this large tent, the flaps of the tent curl aside of their own accord seemingly and wrap up, and you see this gnarled old woman come forward, and she is in brightly colored leather.
She's trying to say
Her
Cthulhu.
hair is this silver white, and it comes in waves. And even for her short stature, think if you've ever seen Yu Yu Hakusho, think Genkai a little bit. Except with silver hair. Yes! Instead of pink hair. Oh, I need my glasses on so I can see your facial expressions. Be welcome to my camp. I am Ava. Please come in, sit. There's someone else you should meet as well.
Someone else.
Hint! And she motions for you to join her inside the tent.
We'll follow.
There is a small cooking fire inside the tent itself, and she sits on this pile of cushions. Actually, can I have you sit by Paula so I can see Aaron's face?
No.
You don't need to see my face.
That means I have to move. I was already comfortable.
Head in relation to.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to see my face. You know who I am.
Oh no, it's okay.
Okay.
Where he's sitting, it's perfect.
Okay.
Like his head comes just below like the top of the little beard cleft.
It
What?
works.
Just trust me, it works.
Okay. Anyway.
We'll roll with that.
She sits on the far side of the fire on these luxurious cushions, and they are all around the fire. And she, please sit.
Sorry.
No.
And
my spine just.
Oh,
sorry.
and Irina comes over and lays her sword in her lap and sits, and there's this odd herbal smell in the air, but it's not acrid. You don't feel threatened or put off by it. And sitting to Madame Ava's left, you see this small figure. What do they see? Thank you, DM Thaco, for NPCing tonight.
You see in front of you, dressed in
Why is it always a no?
dressed in
Because he hates me.
darker forest colors, darker browns, darker greens, and some grays. Slung over his shoulder is a longbow and a quiver. You can see dangling, resting by his side are 2 short swords. And he's just kind of playing around with this little humanoid figure made out of metal. Just playing around with it as you guys walk in.
Is this the first non-human that we've seen? Interesting.
It is. All of the Vistani are human.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to set Trap Finder 1 over here and take out Trap Finder 2. And sit down between them. Start petting them.
Joe, how old is your little dude?
110, 120.
Okay, perfect.
He's old. But
This-
he's still young, is he? Even though he's old.
Okay.
This young man
Of course he's
Young.
It's not
was one of the last groups of adventurers to come to this land. His party was slaughtered.
Oh, yeah.
He was left for dead, and one of my daughters found him.
She was cute.
We took him in, and as a safety measure, I held his memories for him.
What does that mean?
I had no clue who I was until she told me. It was really neat.
When
What are
I
you
saw that you had come to Barovia,
It's a little mechanical man. See, when I'm done, I turn this and then watch.
That's cute. I'm sorry.
you're fine. He's
As my
quite
character's going.
entertaining. I whispered his memories back to him so he would remember.
It hurt.
It did not.
Yes, it did. You're not me.
I think it's walking.
So, I see that you are no stranger to death.
No, I was dead once. You saved me.
Okay.
Oh, you're not talking to me.
I love gnomes. Not. Oh dear Lord.
Yes, you could say that we are no strangers to death. As I'm
What's with the dead animals?
These are my
trap finders.
toys.
No, that's a toy. Those are dead.
They're his version of your
Oh no,
toy.
where's Corner Druid? Hey! Corner Druid is out on the front porch enjoying the sunshine that we finally got. I did not kill the Corner Druid!
Nope, it's there. I can vouch.
It's
sitting
alive
out
and
there.
doing very well. Good to see you back.
Can I?
Oh, your caps lock is on. The dragon bot ate your message. Ha!
Oh.
Time out for 10 minutes.
Oh, I timed out.
I'm so sorry. Orcs make beautiful lovers. It's okay. They'll be back.
There's a 20 character limit to how many caps locks you can have in a row. And apparently, Orc just beat the 20 character limit.
That's
Wow.
Ow.
I'm sorry. That's
Did
horrible
you
and
know
awful.
the tables are hard?
Did you know that there's there's a table there that you probably shouldn't hit.
I thought there was another with you.
Sadly.
Well,
Well, which other?
yes. What are you referring to?
The live one.
Ah, yes, that one.
We don't trust him.
Let me consult. And I actually do have a deck of Taroka cards. And if
Fun.
you think I can find them, like they're campaign specific. What?
Pretty sure they're upstairs.
I have looked everywhere. So they're probably somewhere. But I can't find them.
It's a
So
guess test, yeah.
there is a deck of cards on top of the cribbage board over there. If you'd be so kind as to hand them to me.
No.
So I would use a normal deck of cards. Don't die, sort of.
No, it's just my knee is cramping. I can't do
Oh,
anything.
don't do that.
She needs to drink a little more water.
Well, here's what I can do for you. Tell me what has befallen you so far.
Well, see, all of my friends died.
Not
and
you.
I think that she means us. Young. one.
Do you want us to start at the beginning of this little adventure, or
That's where all stories start.
Give me the short version.
a short?
Is that a
short
joke in
version
my
of the
You're
expense?
I can stop me. I have all. Yes! I love you right now. I don't know who you are or where you're from, but I love you. I'm a necromancer.
I'm a ninja.
Well, first of all, we appeared here around a campfire out of nowhere. And we're summoned here, I guess.
Apparently invited by
By
this
Strahd?
Strahd.
Yes, that is how most people come to Barovia unless they ride with a Vistana.
We were railroaded, forced into a house. We met two apparition children that sucked us into a house, fought
The
through
kid sucked you into a house?
the house.
Was it a really big straw?
They tricked us.
Oh. Why didn't you say that?
Fought
Fucking
different,
fun.
fought different traps within that house.
Did you find him?
We found him in the house.
Was
Not
he the
just him.
trap finder? Did they find them or did you find the traps?
We found trap finder number 1
In the house.
in the house.
So I decided to bring him along because, well, you know, it's good. It's good to have a friend.
And I showed up in a closet.
I almost tried to kill her,
So
actually.
you came out of the closet?
It's like
Yeah.
Hey, it happens to everybody.
Not the way you're thinking though.
I came out of the cupboard.
Covered.
Yeah,
Also-
I'm shorter.
Right.
in this house, after dealing with the various traps and hopefully laying a couple of spirits to rest, we were bequeathed this. At least I was, and I took this from the other, who is no longer with us.
The Dragonborn.
Yes.
And they're the two scorched ponds.
I see that his death was noble and not in vain. Perhaps.
Very
You,
noble.
I believe. I sense the magic in this world. And I have something for you. And she reaches into the air and pulls out a dagger.
Yeah, she's weird like that.
And
I need to learn that trick.
pulls it out to you. This is a dagger of the Oathbound. You must spend a night with it. Just holding it. Nothing weird.
Okay, good. I was concerned.
I know you were. And it requires you to make an oath to destroy a particular enemy. Once you name that enemy, their name will be etched on this dagger. You can use it to determine the direction the enemy is in. It won't tell you how far, but it will always point to the direction they're in.
Like a compass.
Is it like spin the bottle?
I don't know what that is.
We played it as kids. We
You
spun a
still are a
bottle.
kid. When this dagger, the Oathbound, is used against the sworn enemy, it is more likely to hit than miss. And the enemy will take more damage than from a normal dagger. The dagger is magical. The oath can be broken upon your death, the sworn enemy's death, or if you or the enemy changes planes of existence.
Yes, what
So,
that means is if you're no longer
Out
here,
of character, what that means is Dagger of the Oathbound. I will write this down for you, but if you want to take a Cliff Notes version, it is a 1d6 dagger.
I think that's hers, right?
No, it's
This
his.
is.
This? Okay.
It requires attunement. Once you make an oath to kill this enemy, you can use a bonus action to determine the direction that this enemy is in, When it's used against the sworn enemy, it has advantage to hit. Damage towards the sworn enemy is considered magical. The oath is broken upon your death, the sworn enemy's death, or changing of planes of existence.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely need you to
I will write that out.
Hey, we'll just put that
But
in.
yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I will
It's
like it.
near and dear to my heart as it is the first custom weapon I have ever made as a DM.
Yay! Aww.
And it is my baby.
Aw.
So don't lose it.
That is something with
Your own
me.
perception is just like hand it out of your pocket.
Yep, and it has to be a specific. This is where names are important.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't say vampire.
Right.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
So, yes, Strahd Vanzorovich, on the other hand. Yeah.
The dagger grows longer to accommodate the name.
Alrighty.
I can't read the letters, they're way too small.
Alejandro Banzari.
Oh my god,
Don't put
no.
my name on your dagger, it will never fit.
Also,
Oh,
one
wow,
additional trait of this dagger. As you grow stronger, so does it.
It levels up with you.
Hey.
Thank
Do not
And
thank
honor.
me. Deities are strangers to Barovia. The only ones that can ever come through use the lines of the Fays. Those little creepers go wherever they want. Thank you.
We're not in this campaign, we're not in this campaign. Okay.
However, I had a dream. I'm sure that
We're all saying
You will be-
we're one and the same, and we're
She throws.
Dracarys.
What?
But I'm a police.
Valo do Harris.
You're supposed to.
I have a feeling you will hear from this entity yourself soon, so I won't spoil that. Right, well here's what I can do for you. I can tell you a bit of your adversary, and then I can answer for you 3 questions of your choosing. No more, no less.
3 questions.
What is your favorite color?
Who?
Yes, spoiler alert, if we are playing in the campaign of Strahd, there is a lot of potential for spoilers here. Also, no, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, I did not spoil anything. But it'll make much more sense later. Still mad about that. Not happy with that, where that went. Your adversary is one known as Strahd Vanzorovich.
Didn't have to ask that question, she gave it to you. You're nice like that.
She waves her fingers and your mouth moves and yells out.
That was awesome! Oh god.
Wait, what language are you writing?
It's no. I can't tell you that.
I can't read that. Uh-oh.
I have a feeling there may be violence later on tonight, folks.
How do you feel about cooking your own meal?
Oh my.
Alright, in the beginning, apparently there is a wife for sale. We'll begin the bidding at $5. Anybody going once, going twice? I do laundry, I cook, I clean.
$5.
$5. Do I hear 10?
Not going any higher, sorry. She sounds your character, not you. Uh-oh.
Strahd came to the 7. Yes! Stupid!
Someone said
Notice
7.
my husband is not bidding for me.
He's trying, but you muted him.
You can use fingers, we know sign language. And have a bit to...
Oh!
Wow!
I saw that.
So, moving on!
No, what he's saying is twice in one night.
You might die.
Okay, derailed completely. Yes!
Can we get some, like, confetti? That was a golden buzzer moment.
Unless there's confetti, like, attached to your ceiling fan? No.
Just get one of those hurricanes.
Okay, anyway. Yes, lots of shots fired. I did.
Your enemy, Strahd van Zarovich, was not always as he was. He was a man, just like you. A fighter. No, not like you. He came to this land, settled the valley, built the castle in honor of his mother, Queen Ravenia. That table hurts.
It's harder.
Now let that be a lesson.
And I'm so proud of me staying in character even while he's paid.
However, all was not meant to be well, and she waves her hand and the fire flares up and you can see figures within the fire moving to her story. I want to do that. When Strahd called for his family to come with, his younger brother, Sergei, came. And along with them a woman named Tatiana. She was beautiful, beyond all recognition. Strahd fell hopelessly in love with her, but she had eyes only for Sergei. And before long, her and Sergei were meant to be wed. Strahd was overcome with jealousy and a fit of rage. He could not stand his brother's zest for life. He was scarred, older. He had seen many days on the battlefield, and his body bore the signs of it. Heartbroken and full of a jealous rage, he made his way to the Amber Temple, a repository for all the evils in the world. Inside, he made a pact, a dark and vile deal that consumed his very soul. Not until he left the temple itself and returned did he realize the monster he had truly become. For he was blessed with youth unending immortality. But the food turned to ash in his mouth. The wine did not satisfy. Thank you, Pirates of the Caribbean. You're welcome. And his lust for Tatiana was beyond what anyone could endure. Sergei and his brother Strahd fought on the battlements of Castle Ravenloft, where he slew his brother and then went after Tatiana, who, with a broken heart, leapt from the battlements to her doom below. That, my dear, is where you come into play. She pauses, looking at Tatiana. Irina. For you are the reincarnation of Tatiana herself.
What?
Which is why Strahd is so enamored. 3 times he must come to you. Twice he already has. The next time he bites you and drinks of your blood, he will take you back to the castle where you will become his bride. I have no memory of any of this. I know. Tatiana's soul is trapped within you. Now, Strahd can be defeated. There have been others who have been close. He is far too powerful for one such as yourselves, but there is a way. 3 items there are in this land that will weaken this monster and make him more man. The Sun Sword, a mythical blade. It was his brother Sergei's, and will always have strength against him. A tome, a book of knowledge of secrets of his weaknesses, and more in-depth knowledge of his pact.
What was that?
Tome, a book of knowledge of a pact that he made.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a second. The third is an amulet, a symbol of Ravenloft itself, offset with a blood-red ruby in the center. And it has powers against the tides of darkness. When you have these 3 items, you will stand a chance against this devil Strahd, but beware. His spies are everywhere. Most of the Vistani are his. The wolves are his. Even some of the trees are his.
Trees.
Some Vistana are powerful druids, and they will walk among the trees. The Vistani found Strahd while he was a man, weak on the battlefield, and we spared his life. And he spent a bit of time traveling with us on his way to settle this land. He grew fond of our love of freedom, and as such, he will not raise a hand against us, and we are free to travel from this realm. When his dark pact in the Amber Temple was made, the entire land was ripped from the fabric of reality and moved to its own plane.
We only have 3 questions.
If you need clarification on something, I can give that without counting against your questions.
No.
You may now speak.
He's asleep.
He's asleep.
This isn't a question to her. It's just so. What? So he just pulled us then from.
From whatever we were at.
Yes.
Or he had one of his Vistani do it.
From time to time, if it was a Vistana, you would know. You'd remember the wagon ride and our wonderful wine.
I meant one of his women. Not
Every so often, when he gets bored, will pull playthings from other worlds, other lands. As you can see, none of you are human and everyone here is.
interesting.
But there are
Yes?
Just making sure you're alive.
I was sleeping. I've heard this story before.
Should we share that information with her?
there are decades.
This is information that I wouldn't remember. So if you want to share it with her, you should.
Yeah, go ahead and enter party.
Because I don't like. That's something that I.
It was when Syrinscape first came in. It was his.
I know, but I wasn't here for that. I missed that part of the session because I wasn't here. So
Her character was off briefly doing something else.
Yeah, my character wouldn't necessarily know that part.
My character would, and
So if you want to share that with her or with,
The writing.
because I'm sure you shared it with me, but memory and I mean my memory is gone. My character memory would probably not remember. I'm going to pretend that my character just doesn't remember because I
Maybe
just
she
don't.
can whisper into your ears too.
Yeah.
That's how I got my number back.
No. I don't think that we
While the party's figuring that out, orcs, just in case you didn't catch it earlier, this Saturday we will be doing our giveaway. We had a poll, a dragon miniature one. So Saturday night during Loramir, anyone who is tuned in and watching and following our channel will have a chance at winning the dragon miniature. We now return you to your stream.
Yeah, go ahead and I would say.
And what is that, young lady?
It's a piece of paper.
I'll be glad when you leave with
He's not coming with us.
Oh, yes, he is.
I have to. I'm trying to defeat Strahd too.
When we first came across Seraphes, he had a message on him. To summon the tome, the book of Strahd, one of the three to end the would-be god. Earn the pieces and play the game. Beware the loser suffers all pain. Is that the right way to get the tome, or is that a game?
Yes.
I think your little friend is right. Pieces.
It sounds like you have to play a
Do
game
you
to get
know
the book.
Are these the pieces?
As I'm looking at the.
Yes. Yes. It is said that Strahd's brother Sergei was fond of the game of chess.
I know how to play that game.
So we have to find more of these pieces then.
Well, yeah, there's like 32 pieces and you got 2.
Right.
And you guys had the dark.
Two black pawns.
2 black ones.
You are
You
in
have,
luck.
you have the strongest piece on board though.
I happen to have one of the pieces of Sergei's old chess set, and I would happily send it with you.
Ooh, that's neat.
And hopefully you'll be able to get it from him.
No, just kidding.
This is hard on an old woman.
Do you know what it means by the loser suffers all pain?
Well, I can make a guess.
I do. Is that one of your questions that you want me to consult?
No. We gotta make sure we
Oh,
ask you
our
the right
questions. So do each of us get 3 questions, or is it 3 questions
3 questions total, dear.
total?
I won't ask any questions.
That would probably be best.
It's 8 o'clock. We are going to go to our break, and when we come back, we'll find out what questions the party is going to ask of Madame Ava. I'm not going to give them any hints or suggestions as much as I want to. Feel free to help them out in chat, throw them ideas.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. We will see you
Ideas,
guys
but no
in roughly a half hour. Bye! Or pause, or see you in a bit.
See you in a
BRB.
Have fun
BRB.
storming the castles. BRB.
For the side of black.
Alright, welcome back to Dragons in the Dining
But
Room. DMLoxy
Just
here.
thought of that. about the
We
pawns, so.
left our characters in a bit of a conundrum. They had made it to Serpool,
I like
where
the 3 questions
Madame
that
Ava is, and they are finding out that they can ask her 3 questions after learning a bit more about Strahd von Zarovich's background and learning that Irina Kolyanovich is really the reincarnation of Tatiana, which is why Strahd is after her. So we're going to go back to the group and have you discussed Durvishta.
Did that help you?
No idea. Off stream, I will explain that as a very, very specific curse word in a language I'm very fond of.
Oh my god.
But it has a very specific meaning. Few of my anyway, Durvishta.
They're over here talking and kind of whispering between themselves. They won't let me in on the conversation for some reason. I don't understand why. So, I mean...
Again. We figured that you'd chime in with your thoughts on that one, anyways.
Yeah, but she made me shut up the last time I attempted with my thoughts. I'm kind of afraid to talk.
Oh,
Obviously not.
Oh,
Have you
well.
reached a decision on your questions, dears?
We're wondering how specific our questions need to be.
You ask me the questions, I consult my cards. The broader the question, the vaguer the answer.
Okay.
Well, that's...
Well, that
This is...
So make it
as specific as possible.
So we have to make sure that we say his name.
Also,
It is 3 questions
Should I-
combined, not 3 questions each. I can hear that one thinking it again.
should I
But I'm not part of the group, so I
specify
get my
the
own
3
2 questions,
items?
right?
No.
Hey,
Yes.
Oh, right.
If there's something you want asked, speak it over.
And where?
Yes.
Question 1.
Yes?
Where do we find the Sun Sword, Tome, and Amulet we need to help defeat Strahd Vanzorovich?
does that really help?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, no, I just like watching your face.
I think you just said I'm cute.
Possibly.
Don't
Have
stop
you
now.
met-
I'm trying to figure this out.
Have you met my daughters?
Which ones?
Any of them, I think, is her point.
I thought they were all her daughters. They're all the sons, right?
And you watch her shuffle her cards and whip some over and stare at the flames. The sun sword you seek is in the mouth of a great statue. Drops of amber dripping from its gaze. A thing of light hidden within a wellspring of evil itself. The symbol, the amulet. I see it sitting hidden aloft, where a beacon of light should be, and darkness now prevails.
I think you should proceed the rest of your questions with specifically.
The tome is hidden to me beyond a wall of mist, but I see chess pieces, Sergei's chess pieces, and when they align, the board will appear.
Okay, so Sun's from in the great statue, drops of amber, mouth of great.
Waves of gray.
I feel that the sun sword seeks to not be where it is, as if the blade itself cries out for justice. I sense great danger.
We're in Barovia. Danger.
Has it ever occurred to you that I, not Strahd, just might be the most dangerous thing in Barovia?
Yes, hence great danger.
I'm sorry. Nope, you're fine. The chess pieces are shrouded in mist, as if each one has been swallowed by a different evil all its own. I sense that as you face enemies sent by Strahd, or that are loyal to him, the pieces themselves will align. With the amulet, I see the face of a wolf, seeking to remove the amulet from within light. I'm sorry. That is all I could see. That was a very broad question. You bastards.
Ever hidden a lot where beacon lights should be. And right.
What was that gnome child?
I was talking to my toy.
What's her name?
I don't know if it's a her or a he.
Can we raise the bid? I think last I saw was 7.
20 bucks.
Well, it might be for 20.
$11.50 an hour.
Okay, so the Sun Sword is in the mouth.
You do realize that wives and moms work 24/7,
Right.
and you're gonna pay me $11.50 an hour?
Sure.
U.S.
Rubles.
I have learned. Anyone need a house wench? Speak now, try to hold your peace.
Ben's already got you.
That's a shop wench, not a house wench.
Wait a second.
I scrub floors and it keeps me in a decent frame of mind to keep from murdering you. It's to your benefit that I'm so favorable.
So I married you.
So you could use me as a pawn.
No, because you're favorable.
That's probably like one of the sweetest things you've ever said to me.
Other than I do?
It's up there! You do what?
I did. And I still do.
You stuck.
Yep.
You happily stuck.
Yes.
Are you just saying that?
Nope.
I kind of want a hug now.
Alrighty, so Sun Sword.
So, yes, question number 2. Sorry, my cheeks are a bit rosy. Just remembered something from my girlhood.
You were a girl?
If you ever get married, young man, don't speak to your wife like that. She'll forget you love her.
Oh.
See, women...
The one I was going to marry is dead.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Like, oh, do you want a hug?
No, I'm going to go kill the guy who killed her.
Oh,
Huh. I will. Well, yes.
Hakuba. I see your face
So do I.
in the fire.
Pull
And
it
I
out.
see... a steel-fisted gauntlet. It is a symbol.
Interesting. Let's see.
I see the words, the loyal fury.
Well,
I feel courage and self-sacrifice.
those can't be me then. I'm not the sacrificing type.
Are you not?
I've sacrificed others, so to speak.
Is an oath not a sacrifice of self? You
That's how I was going.
The response is, oh snap! Now, for your other questions, you have 2 remaining. This voice is going to kill me eventually.
Let's see, where is it?
She waves her hand. You can speak again.
We might as well just keep him mute.
It's the quiet ones you've got to watch out for.
That's why nobody sees me.
Let's see. How do we continue for undetected by Strahd and those who are in league with him? Yes. Okay.
Your second question?
How do we continue forth undetected by Strahd and those who are in league with him?
I'll look it up.
Thank you. Yes and no. I've seen like 20 renditions.
Okay.
Sorry, repeat that question. The gnome was talking again.
How to do
That's
that?
fine. How do we continue forth undetected by Strahd and those who are in league with him?
You cannot. Undetected? You can try. Little dove, you can try.
Okay. So, answer to that question
It is possible. He is not everywhere. He is not omnipresent. However, he has many spies.
Okay. Well, let's.
However, you
I'm sorry.
have a bit of that advantage, as you may not know where he is, but you will always know the direction he is in. He does not have the same advantage over you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, the answer to
That's
question
the one.
number 2 is technically.
You're screwed.
Great.
So to speak.
Great.
You
That's
can know where he is, but he's not always going to know where you is. And he's got
not
spies everywhere.
omnipresent, but
I
his
did not know
spies
that.
are numerous.
okay.
It is possible to hide.
Okay.
But eventually we will
Probably
be
not for long.
detected in wherever or however we hide. So
Okay.
it's not a for sure thing.
Okay.
But we go through without being seen by him, so to speak.
Okay.
Your third question.
So I think question 3 then,
When's dinner?
so that we can find out who.
What do you think? Question A or question
Dinner?
Question.
Is that in character?
B?
Yeah.
I'm half tempted to run with that as your third question.
Just don't screw
That's how
yourself
it would be like.
High or low?
No.
Lessons in character.
So I agree with that question B.
Question
so go
B?
ahead and ask.
Okay.
You.
I was being written on my go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
How do we determine who our allies are and who is in league with Strahd? Truly. I missed a lot of the amulet sun sword stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll-
hoping that
We'll
I
go
know,
back.
but I don't always go back and watch that.
Right.
So like,
Basically, this is what I was able to gather as quickly as I could by my writing materials. So.
I mean, if anything, I'll.
Yeah, we'll read.
You wish to know who is ally and who is foe.
No, I believe the way that we're wording the question is how can we know? So like as if they're traveling around, that guy's friend, that guy's foe.
There are magics that would allow. There was a bard who could cast a spell in which no one could speak a falsehood. Magics like this would aid you. As far as how can you tell, time will out. Their actions will speak. But if you're looking for a magic wand that will turn blue and purple and red and all these other, there is no simple answer. However, I wonder if I still have... She turns around and starts rummaging inside a trunk. Might I help you, young one?
I'm curious as what's in there.
None of your damn business.
She's grumpy.
No, I believe it's a matter of privacy rather than...
Well, if she didn't want me to look into it, she wouldn't open it up in front of my face.
Well, we might need to talk to you later about the boundaries.
Like the ones around the tent. That's a boundary. Yeah.
I will give you
That's a starting
one
point.
card from my Taroka deck.
Ooh.
When you face someone, and it is of dire circumstances that you know where their true allegiance lay, whether it would be Strahd or someone else, you can speak the words. Shit, I need its words.
Nicto? What was that?
Words. Umbra veritas. We're just gonna borrow Latin. So truth shadow. Or shadow truth rather.
Mm-hmm.
And if their heart belongs to Strahd, the card will turn black and wither away as ash.
So this is a one-time use thing.
It is a one and done, honey.
Oh.
So it's an ocean card. Great. That was completely brilliant. Yep. Yep. I was gonna say, can you write that down in your sheet that you have that now, please? Because you will be the one to carry that. That was like completely brilliant.
You're making me giggle. Because now I had to think of how many other people you've loaned me out to as a wench. I was there cleaning wench for a while, and now I'm cleaning wenching over there, and for a while I was cleaning wenching over there, and then I was cleaning... Does that make me a wench of all trades?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes!
Should I put that with my treasure and magic items?
The wench of all trades or the card?
The card.
The card. We can put the wench.
She's my magic item.
Okay. I'm glad he laid claim.
Like, do you realize that the power of some magic items fades without use? You have to attune to them every so often.
I know I lay with you for more than an hour.
Oh my goodness. This conversation and innuendo is just, I'm sorry, chat. This is welcome to Strahd. That's just, there you go.
Welcome to my house.
Yeah. No,
You have to be awake for it.
Ow.
Is it bad that I'm picturing this conversation between Madame Ava and the gnome? I mean,
I saw a comic of this. Oh my
And this is how you know you have a good relationship.
Yeah, sorry.
are you dying? Please don't die.
Yes, when you loan your magic item out to everyone else, you know it's good because it keeps coming back like a parasitic boomerang of sorts.
parasitic boomerang.
Yes, it's probably quite accurate.
Like,
Oh my goodness.
You know, some days all I can sit and hope is, I hope no one ever shows my mother this stream. Because if I wasn't disowned enough already, that would seal the deal right there. Just
Wow!
hey mom, can you come sit in on a game once?
And there would be no laughter whatsoever in the stream at all.
And Jesus spake to his disciples, and they went up. Roll me a fishing check. You roll for bread, you roll for fishes.
I forgot to write that down.
Kind of want to do a campaign like that sometime. It'd be fun.
I've thought about it.
Like Old Testament stories,
right,
pull
buddy.
that in.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, but use Middle Earth classes and stats.
What do you mean?
That would be interesting.
Yes, because magic is. Yeah, get it. All right, so moving on.
Okay, you need to explain what just happened because it went wee!
A whole
Basically, we're going to turn the Bible into D&D.
Well, I know, but what Middle Earth? What?
Tolkien.
Tolkien.
There's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
a
okay,
set of
okay.
yeah.
Gandalf the Grey becoming Gandalf the White, that kind of thing.
Oh, I got
Okay.
an itch right in the center of my back, and I can't reach it. This is awful. Somebody
That's,
please.
she's doing one of these numbers
What?
here.
What? Is this show on stream? Oh god, a little higher. Oh, to the right. Oh yeah.
I was gonna say your right or mine.
Oh, right there.
I guess
Oh
it's
god.
the same.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh.
Make sure you get the video clip, not just the sound clip
Yeah,
on.
But the clip and the sound and the video kind of go simultaneously. So there you go.
This is when Mel met Gabby. Take 4.
I'll have what she's having.
Alright.
Okay.
This is why people love us.
Okay.
Or tolerate just like.
You know, I think it's tolerate for me at this point.
I mean, they just like watching the stream fall apart. I think that's part of it. Meow.
Right, so
Meow. Okay, so the 3 questions have been asked.
I am going to rest. It takes a good deal of my power to answer these questions. When I was younger, I could answer them all day, every day. Now it gives me such indigestion and flatulence.
Right then.
There's tree barks you can eat that fix that.
And why haven't you imbibed?
I'm not flatulent.
They also have tonics for your hearing and sense of smell, as they both seem to be out of order.
Anyway.
Oh dear.
Irina.
Yes?
Oh, yeah, that question.
Or Madam Ava, I suppose. Either one of you.
Yes? Oh?
Would it be... Yeah. And making the DM play 2 characters at once is great. Do it! Would it be alright if we left Irina here? To keep her safe?
Well... I will think on this. I do know that with Strahd's bite upon her, I do not know if my magic can cloak her for long.
Okay.
Anyone who hasn't been marked, this of course is nothing.
I suppose
But it
shame
will
to
be
be
a
safe.
constant battle of my magic versus his.
Mm.
And I am an old woman, and he has the pact of an entire den of iniquity behind him.
That's lovely.
Huh.
Have fun storming the castle.
Right. Enjoy your rest,
What
and
was-
thank you.
What was that temple located at? That he got his powers from?
I would have to consult my deck, and alas, my powers are drained from some time.
Gotcha.
That would have been a fantastic question that you could have wished you would have asked later.
Yes.
But you had no way of knowing. Your questions were quite excellent. Much better than some of the other groups I've seen.
Yeah.
That was not pointed at you.
You missed a conversation I had.
He didn't help us with the questions or anything. It was a matter of illuminating some of past things that his group did that we've already done that he like.
Oh.
Like.
Yeah, I had to tell him about the past and what my party did wrong so that they had a chance to think a little bit more broad than what my party did. As you can see, I'm the only one here, so my party did something wrong.
Something.
By the way, since none of you has bothered to ask...
I was going to say, what is her name?
Who are you and what is your name?
What is your quest?
My name is Cyprier Pirgwig Demsir Manber the Sixth.
The fuck?
What?
Come on,
Sorry, that slipped!
Wow!
Just brought me back to my text.
Alright then. Can you repeat that, please?
Yes, my name is Cyprier Pirgwig Demsir Manber the Sixth.
Can you
Can
do
we
that a
call you
bit
something
slower?
shorter?
Do you have a nickname?
CPD?
CP.
I call him a headache.
CPD it is.
What did members of your party used to call you?
Whatever they wanted.
Usually shut up and go away, I imagine.
Is there someplace we can
Call me Sip.
Sip.
sip? Is there someplace we can give you quiet so that you can rest?
This is her
Well-
hand.
I mean, is
For
there
once
some?
you took the words out of my mouth.
I'm going to thank you for your time and get up and walk out of.
Feel free to rest here if needed.
But this
Drink.
is your tent.
I meant in the camp, you insolent little halfwit.
Okay.
Should make him a trap finder.
Feel free to imbibe of the drink. I'm sure any number of my retinue would enjoy your companies.
They avoid me.
Thank you. Why?
Hilda doesn't.
They avoid me.
Possibly have to find Hilda.
He doesn't like the round one.
Oh, okay.
Something about
Always.
mountain climbing and laziness, I don't know.
Thank you for everything.
I look like a decimal point next door.
I thought you were more of a footnote.
And I'm walking.
Who's like hiding the worst?
You know what's bad? When you can just... The funny thing is, that's how we argue too.
Thank you for your time and enjoy the evening.
I shall. Callista and Arcana, as you exit the tent, the two gentlemen that were previously swashbuckling with the rapiers walk up and each of them offer you an arm. Come, sit with us, enjoy the evening. The one
Let me
that
in.
that is next to you, Callista,
This
goes,
turns all
it has
Millbrooks.
been some time since I have witnessed such beauty. It is as if the stars themselves fell from the sky and touched your skin. Such a lovely hue.
Thank you.
Don't mind him, Hilda turned him down. He hasn't been the same since.
Does he have to come with us?
I'll be a lot more help than you think.
I don't mind him. I kind of like him.
He's a bit quick. I've had the pleasure of sparring him, and well, he's a small
He
one.
can't compete with me with the bow and arrow in the least.
He is
That's
useful.
good.
See, an asset is an asset
Mhm.
at this point.
He
You
is
don't
part
feel
of
him, you're
that.
sitting.
Oh my gosh.
I love you so much. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
We're taking him with us.
Yes.
We're taking him with us.
It's lovely. The more the merrier.
Sip, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
Nah,
Zip,
nah.
you come have a glass of wine with me.
Who am I speaking with?
You are speaking with a Vistani woman who is short. You know her as Hilda. And she has a very playful gleam in her eye. And
I'm not thirsty.
I am. And she downs the wine and turns and huffs away.
I'm actually gonna head towards the horses because.
I'm gonna take
Also-
the gentleman's arm that offered it to me, and
He pours you a glass of wine. It makes a show of clearing a spot by the fire, taking off his cloak and laying it down for you to sit upon.
I believe the word is pompous.
It's called chivalry, you bastard!
Well, you'll both be dead soon.
not here we won't. So
I'm not going to kill her, I'll go slow.
No, late chivalry is dead. You'll be dead.
Sorry. That one slipped out of character.
Alright then.
We're gonna retcon that.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
I'm going to take trampling.
This is why I can't have nice things.
Can I ask you, what are you drinking?
It is a wine of our own blend. As we can travel across realms, we take the best alcohol from all the lands,
The
learn their
thieves.
secrets. You're taking him with you, right?
Yes.
And came up with our own blend. And he pours you a glass and hands it out.
Would one of you be so kind as to watch my
I will.
friend? I may take you up on that later. I'll ask them first. Thank you.
And you see a woman come out from the tent. I'll watch you and my sister can watch your friend. She's got, her hair is the color of dark honey and sunlight. She is wearing emerald green dancing silks and has a line of bells around each wrist, each ankle, and her waist.
And that's all that she's wearing.
And dancing silks,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
On a scale of being dressed from 1 to 10, she's about a 3. In your favor.
Okay.
I can see your belly button.
You're very perceptive. Sorry, I had nothing for that. That was good. And leave me hanging after you have it. And she comes over and just kind of sachets, and you didn't even realize you put your arm around her, and she's already got her. Come sit and we will drink.
Okay.
And
he's not a man of the cloth. What can I say?
Well, at least he's not
Neither is
drooling
she.
like
There
he
almost no
was.
cloth on her.
when the how to wash tag is the biggest single piece of fabric on your laundry, you know he'll approve. Arcana. You said you were gonna go over
To the horses. I
to the horses, and the other gentleman that was fencing is over there with you with a glass of wine, and he's telling you about the horses. Their names are Bree and Hwyn.
I'm gonna
Mad props to anyone who knows where that came from.
I'm gonna see if one of them will let me pet.
Roll animal handling.
What's that under?
It's one
Oh.
of your skills.
Say,
I didn't know
from
that
the
was.
top.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's a wisdom thing.
It is very much a thing.
Nice
That
roll.
is a very nice.
21.
And then
She just gave the horse an orgasm.
You handled the wrong part of that handle.
Why is this happening? Why is this happening?
When you're 2 players down and you know your entire plan for the night is shot, so you're like, I'm just gonna wing this. This is what the hell happens.
Welcome to
I
every
kinda like
Saturday
it.
for me.
I don't want it to go that way with the horse.
No, it doesn't. The horses are very enamored with you, and they get well cared for, but you are a new person, and for some reason they like you, and they're just nuzzling you and
Curiosity.
It's like Duke. I haven't seen a person for 2 minutes. Oh my god, I'm undertouched.
I know that.
we'll have a girls' night, and I'm not gonna finish that sentence. I almost said something, and it would have sounded wrong.
Isn't that all the touches you
I
want?
think.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm an equal opportunity toucher.
Oh
That's
my
what's wrong
goodness.
with you. Moving on. And I mean hugs, like clothed hugs, but moving forward. You guys cast the evening with the Vistani. If there's anything you want to ask them, talk about, discuss in party, go. I'm going to let this RP out a little bit.
I am going to waste my time wandering around camp finding small pieces of metal.
Okay.
I'm gonna grill. I'm gonna talk
One
to
of the Vistani men, when he sees what you're doing, hands you, roll me percentile actually, as much as I hate those words.
Yeah.
6.
Hands you a pouch that has some dried blood on the side, and inside it are 62 ball bearings.
Okay. That's a callback.
Hakuba, what is it that you are up to, other than ringing the bells?
The bells. The bells.
Oh, the horror.
You're welcome. No, the whore. The whore.
Love you.
For whom the bell tolls.
Horror.
I can't, no, we're not
Walk
even
away,
trying.
man, the wall.
I love you.
The horrors of being a speech coach.
Yes.
Did you just say, you said the same word like 3 times? Can you,
Right, so
bells,
The bells.
bells.
So yeah, probably greatly enjoying my time with this person.
yeah, in this wine, as you're drinking it, you feel like your entire body is recharged. It almost feels as if some of the horrors of what you've seen.
I'm sorry, that's just like that word.
Some of the
It's a trigger word.
Horrors.
some of the most dire circumstances you've been in, some of the most graphic incidents seem to have lost that vivid edge in your memory. You still have the memory, but there isn't the same level of trauma attached to it.
Okay.
Almost as if something inside you is being healed that you didn't even know was rent.
I like this lady.
She likes you too. All night long. Callista!
I'm
Little
going
cons.
to enjoy.
Tomorrow.
No, there's going to be a different surprise for you tomorrow.
What shall I name it?
Enjoy the company of this gentleman. Ask him his name. Just small talk type of things. And just enjoy the joy that we feel in this camp compared to the sadness of Barovia.
My name is Thornell. You have to pick a random name.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna ask her name too.
That's probably a good thing.
Have a great time with you. You.
Beautiful you.
Her name is Kira.
Kira.
It's Kilara when they say it, but when they do the
Mm-hmm. It's
Kira.
Yeah. Yeah.
Son of a biscuit.
That would be a bread roll.
Really?
I always thought it was a baguette.
Oh.
He explains, the Vistani are not limited by Barovia, so we have joy. Not all Vistani are joyful, but our camp, we are largely protected by Madame Eva's magic. She does not leave Barovia, but time and again we will. And we come back and we have that little bit of joy. She stays in hopes that someday the land will be set right again. So while we have this joy, we share it with you. And he reaches behind your ear and he pulls out an orchis flower.
Aww. That's pretty. I'm going to take it from him.
I know how that trick's done.
Shush. I'm enjoying
this
myself.
flower, as long as you have hope in your heart, will remain in bloom for you. As the memory of tonight will remain in bloom for me in the garden of my heart. That's how it's done, guys. Just for the record.
Your eyes look pretty. See, I can do it too.
Your ability to be romantic has never been in question. Arcana.
I'm still gonna hang out with the horses, but I'll grab the wine that he's got.
He introduces himself as Reed.
Sorry, criminal minds.
Yes.
That's cool.
The lime and the coconut. Anyway. I'm sorry! I love you, dear.
Going bid's currently $20.
Yeah.
$11.50 an hour.
Or $11.50. You never specified US. Or is it just, and by US I mean us?
Yeah.
Aww. That's also how it's done. Going bid is $11.50 us. And you drink this wine and the same. Wait, what? What you saying? Oh, I missed what you saying.
I'm not having that many kids. 1,150 kids? That's a lot. We'd have to adopt. Fire babies go.
Oh my god, that's a lot for babies.
I know.
No.
Arcana, you
Big an entire wall.
Oh my god.
You, as you drink this wine, you get the same feeling that Hakuba did. Any awful, horrendous memories that you have, you still remember them, but the edge is taken off of them.
So I feel relieved for the first time ever.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with your particular background. The weight seems to have lifted from your shoulders some. And when Reed puts his hand on your shoulder as you're drinking, you can almost feel like this warmth come out of him and into you, and you feel strengthened for whatever lies ahead.
I'm a little uncomfortable.
All I can think is a little mice from Cinderella. Sit, sit! Sit, sit! Gus, gus! Gus, gus! What are you doing? Are you still searching for pieces of metal, or?
Once I get a good handful of it, I'm going to start tinkering again. Just sit by the fire and tinker.
Okay. Roll me a d20 and add your proficiency mod.
14.
14. You feel like you're on the verge of being able to make something, but some of the pieces of metal that you found aren't quite the right shape. But you feel like maybe if you know, when you come across a forge or get some time around a fire, some of the softer metals you think you could bend, you have ideas.
There's also a couple of toys in here too.
Yes. Yep.
What are you making?
The horses say.
I don't know yet. I just got done making my little toy soldier walk, and I have ideas for other things.
And does
Actually,
the
I'm
toy
thinking-
do anything other than just walk?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
But I am thinking about maybe something like maybe a little bird or a dragon
Oh.
that can do things.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions for the Vistani you're with? Otherwise, I'm gonna bed you guys down for the night. There's not.
No, wait! The whole entire conversation has been going for the past, I don't know,
I'm gonna ask
half an hour?
Reed if I can get some of this wine to take with me.
For your loveliness, I think I could spare a glass or two.
Thank you.
How is it that such beauty exists in a land so bleak?
She was born that way.
You're a fly on the wall.
Sip, sip. First of his name, ruiner of moments and romance.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I don't know, that's gone fine.
Disadvantage of height and large of brain.
I don't know about disadvantage of height. I'm a perfect size. I mean, I can kick you in the shins without even trying.
You were quite correct.
Have you seen Bedtime Story?
Yes.
Last call for.
Nope, I'm making sure that she's having as much fun as I am.
I'm gonna find a blanket and wrap up by the fire.
You know what? Roll me performance.
Yeah.
Oh my lord, really?
Roll 1!
Because why not?
Come on, Toy.
Wow!
19 plus whatever.
Performance.
Wow!
Where's performance at?
It's on your
Follow
Chip-
the
okay.
alphabet.
Yeah. Alright, so
Charisma
20.
modifier.
20.
She rolled 28. She got a nat 20.
Wow!
We're
You
having a
both-
good time.
So this is
Your
how
face though! They're in a tent. Like she'll take him back to the tent. They're not gonna in front of.
Pick a tent, any tent.
I'm like,
And we now know who the voyeur of the group is.
Did you know she's got a
Oh,
mole
sorry.
on the left side of her-
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to hit.
Wow.
That was kind of perfect.
That was amazing. What in the hell?
That was right where I was aiming. I'm sorry. I thought
Roll a 5.
you take 5 bludgeoning spousal damage. Sparring legal spousal damage.
You cannot use projectile weapons in the sparring ring.
You can now.
I have to talk to Master Scott about that.
I'm sorry.
Rubber
Are you
shirt
okay?
I'm fine.
I thought, like, that's where I aimed, but I thought I made it fall short. And it did.
Have you seen him hit the
Oh, so-
camera?
For the stream's knowledge, I do not abuse him frequently. And when I do, it's never unwarranted.
What is that?
Oh my gosh.
And the cops show up.
No, honestly, Ossifer, I'm fine.
I can't even take him. Okay, side note, I can't even take him to the doctor's office because every time they ask that question, do you feel safe at home?
Not unless we're sparring.
One of these days, that is going to come back to haunt you.
I hope so. I
promise.
can't wait for the day that the cops come and go, we heard that you feel unsafe. I do. She kicks my ass all the time. And then we take the pads off.
If this happens, please videotape this because
If this is ever reciprocated, I'm letting you spend the night in jail before I come clean.
wow,
Just to be clear.
wow.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Whew.
No ideas.
So the night passes. You get the best night's sleep you've had, whether you spend it alone or with pieces of metal.
I'm not alone.
I was gonna say, do I go to sleep?
So I can reroll my difficulty.
Yes. And you all wake up feeling stronger and wiser for it. Congratulations, you guys are going to level 4.
Woohoo! Yay!
Hakuba, as you sleep.
Okay.
We will discuss some finer details
Okay.
after session, but you have a vision again. Well, you didn't have it first time, sorry. You see what looks like a silver gauntlet clenched, and you hear a voice saying, I have heard your cries. I have seen your desire for a contract. I will give you my power. You can be my champion in this land.
And I'm sleeping at this point, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're out, and you feel as if something is being poured into you. And you've ingested poisons before, and that feeling of where you can feel the poison running through your veins, you feel that, but instead of a burning or a chilling feeling, you feel raw power, as if righteous fury and justice have been poured through you. You have been spoken to.
That's pretty.
Oh, did you find it? Yes.
That's all I'm showing on. The rest of it I'm giving you. That's the image that you see in your mind.
That's neat.
That's the image he sees in his mind.
Oh.
Oh, you need.
I
There you
am
go. Okay.
Torm. And known as the Hand of Righteousness.
Torm?
Yes.
Torm.
T-O-R-M.
I was gonna say you can use this book. This is yours for notes. Okay. I didn't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Because I was bored and decided to transfer all of my notes from both campaigns into this book. Now I have one book for both campaigns rather than 6 different books for different places.
Here, I'll just put it on the
Form.
I will get you a lot more information. I'm not going to get into it all now. But you understand that this god Torm has heard your cries, has agreed to pour his power into you, that you can be a champion of light for him. And he affirms, when you need it the most, you will have it. And the vision fades, and you wake up feeling stronger, better, faster, and
We can make it more.
wake up to a very pleasant Vistani woman who no longer has her dancing silks, just the bells, and is bringing you in the most wonderful breakfast you've ever seen. For anyone that had availed of company, you realize that your significant others of the evening the next morning have zero shame. Like, it does not bother them to walk out naked, grab breakfast, and bring it back to you.
I was right.
All seem very familiar with one another, but not in a creepy way. Like, it's natural, whatever.
They're a nudist colony. Yay. I mean,
It doesn't.
no.
There's not the value. It's. If you've ever worked in nursing, you get it. Once you've seen breeds once, you've seen them all. Whether they go, wonderful! No, you've seen them all.
Or just sit there.
You guys know I can picture things, right?
What's that?
You guys know that I can picture things when people say
We are
Why do you
all
think I feel compelled to
we are all full of mental imagery here.
When I read a book, I see a video playing before my face. Like, it's just there.
Three quarters
I'm trying to get
of
something after
D&D is mental imagery.
That is
Theater of the mind.
part of the reason why it's fun to play. Is you get to basically create a book together. It's so fun.
And while the mood is still jovial and you have no hangovers whatsoever.
Neat. Even after imbibing all of that wine.
Yeah, no, you feel amazing. Breakfast is fantastic. There's fresh baked bread. There's bacon. There's a type of sweetened grits. And they tell you they've used some local herbs and some wild honey to flavor it. There is a breakfast salmon. So, and they explain they
I just don't like salmon. I'm sorry.
fish. There's
That's okay,
breakfast
I'll eat it.
fish
Okay.
that they catch from the river, and then what they do is they get these sheets of metal and put them under the coals of the fire and put the fish in between
Neat.
while using thin slices of apple and wild honey over it.
Yum.
Actually, doesn't sound bad.
Right? Kind of want to make that now.
I don't know, I'm just making this up as I go, but
It sounds good.
We'll try this.
Sorry.
Right?
Thinking.
I won't try it. I don't like fish.
Oh.
We can figure something else
I'll
out.
eat it.
Pork would work too with the honey and apple.
Right. But I mean, and
Like a candy.
it's a smorgasbord. They tell you also that fish prepared this way, you can dry it and grind it up and put it in a pouch. And then if you take mouthfuls of it and drink water, it'll expand in your stomach and keep you fuller longer.
It's like rice.
But it doesn't taste bad when you just take handfuls of it.
Is there a way of taking that with us?
I can send some with you.
That would be wonderful.
For you, my dear, anything. Yeah.
I mean, we're probably about as enamored. Well, I am. I don't know. As enamored as he was with. I don't know her name. I can't remember her name. And
Yeah.
After her, I'd probably forgotten.
Yeah, you don't even remember there was another Vistani, let alone that she had a name. This one didn't use magic. She used her hips. I call them magic.
Hips don't lie.
But yeah, you guys.
Hell, like magic,
And Madame Ava comes out and she just has this. She's very amused.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad you all enjoyed yourself to whatever degree you needed. I have spent time thinking about your request to keep Irina here. I could keep her here for a short time before Strahd was able to know where she was. Being here now, most like he cannot sense her. His spies cannot see her. That may buy you some time. There is one village in between here and Kresk. It is called Valaki. I know very little about it, as my powers are fading with age. I only look when I need.
Oh, you're only like 28 years old. You're fine.
Maybe you're not so awful.
See, this looks like we keep it.
I wish you all the best of luck.
We don't need luck. We're just that good.
And you, may the newfound power you have give you what you need. It's always been within you, Hakuba.
It was within her last night.
Wow!
Wow!
You said it, I was thinking it.
Wow!
Sorry, the brain was right
So
there.
let it be written, so let it be done. So, you
Wow!
You actually wrote about it? That's gonna be an interesting book.
we wrote one for the horses too. We call it,
I didn't think horses needed instructions.
we call it 50 Shades of Hay.
Oh.
It's about their unbridled passion.
Stop! 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 Stop!
We don't saddle ourselves with conventional topics.
The book leads you right through it and spurs you along as you do.
I'm going to mention. Oh my gosh. Why is this happening right now?
I don't know.
We're just like.
Yep.
It's meant to stir up emotions. That shoe's on the wrong foot.
I'm going to give one of my hand axes to Kira.
Aww. Kira graciously accepts it and slips it through her belt.
Careful, you
Okay.
might lose the rest of it swearing.
She just smiles down at you and she seems like she's very handy with it. It seems natural in her hands. And you get the sense that she knows what she's doing around a blade.
I'm gonna give.
Oh my god. Really? Really? We were past that.
No.
No, we weren't. We really were not. I'm gonna give Formal. I have a tassel that's attached to one of my daggers. I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna untie it from my dagger and give him the tassel.
He graciously kisses your hand and attaches the tassel to the end of his longsword.
Aww.
Right? To a meaty.
By the
We're
way,
doing the giving thing.
Oh crap, I gotta give mine a gift too. Hold on, let me see what I got here.
I have a set of silverware. I'm gonna give him one piece of it.
Which piece?
Yes.
The little spoon.
The spoon.
That's it.
You get
I
a
have
salad.
no words!
You get a salad fork.
It's the love thing that we talked about. Right?
So,
He graciously accepts your spoon.
I see you get the big one.
I'm gonna say this will bring you luck.
We're just done.
yeah.
This is like,
So
I think it already has.
You got lucky last night.
So, how did Trap Finder fare with the her sister or whatever?
You never saw a sister. But when you wake up, you see that both trap finders have been washed and groomed. These looks like some good fluffy puppies. Like their teeth have been polished, the ears are up, their furs.
Damn.
Yeah. Stony girls do it right.
he still needs to dry out a bit more.
Probably.
And this is not going to be the normal tone, but with 2 players gone, I figured a bit of reprieve was in order, and I can trust this group to say somewhat classy.
Somewhat.
Classy.
Somewhat.
Classy.
You brought me into this group. You lost all class.
No, we still got it, Rose. We still got it.
Oh, God.
Sorry, that was too
Yes, it was, but it was lovely.
Madam Ava spreads out the map a bit. Where will you? The hell did I miss?
Oh, because I missed you.
Was this a creepy?
I missed it.
Is this a guy thing?
I guess.
Apparently.
Nice. Guess we'll just have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't like this either.
You had a slight hesitation there. That was a bit of a could have been a faux pas.
If anyone in chat caught that, can you please clue the DM in?
I haven't seen anybody chat very long.
They're all just like, keep going.
Popcorn.
Where will you head next?
Wherever they take me.
If you take
You know nothing about Valaki,
Snow.
you said.
We want
it, Valaki is up on the
I think
edge
she's
of
like-
Lake Zarovich,
Oh, yes.
or so I'm told.
Oh, you ran into that woman too?
Yeah.
She's creepy.
We. Do you still have those?
Yes, I do.
And you know that the map Irina has is not complete, but a lot of the major landmarks are there, but there's a lot of ambiguity.
Can we borrow Irina's map and like I would like to have a conversation with Irina and like.
Yes, and actually by next session I will have a map for you guys that
Okay.
you can
Sort of.
Modify.
fill in as you go,
Okay.
as it were.
Okay.
Um,
It would be nice at the moment in camp, since Madam Ava brought out her map to compare it
Right.
to Irina's and kind of
Yes.
mark down a little bit more,
they're-
filling out things.
they're very similar. Madame Ava's has a bit more details. The Vistani have been everywhere.
And that's all I would like to do as far as making that a little more fleshed out so that we can, if Irina doesn't mind us taking the map
Yeah,
from her.
she hands it over,
or
and lets you know if we follow the road, I know it will take us to Valaki, and if we keep going, we should wrong voice. We should hit another fork. If we go to the east, when we hit this next fork, thank you. We will. It is the winding road up to Ravenloft itself.
Well, I don't want to go there yet.
no.
No.
If we continue to the west, the northwest. Wait, I'm not British.
Nope. You drop into
If
my
we
accent
continue-
often.
I know. If we continue to the northwest, I'm losing my voice completely at this point because I spent too long in Madame Ava. We will head towards Lake Zarovich.
What in the hell? I just missed that one too.
I got it.
I'm lost.
I was trying to be good on this one.
Yeah. I heard the thought just rebound after.
It's fine. Anyway, I'm paying attention to.
So, which... She's gone!
Welcome to D&D, folks. You know, where people just get broken completely and just can't function. It's fine. All of us go through it at some point in the process of.
It's happened.
I was gonna say.
Once, I think.
Twice.
Oh, twice.
Okay, still once, twice. It still happens to everyone. At least in my house.
Which... This is if we stay on the road. We can go overland as well, although I have never been off the roads. I have never been far out of Barovia.
It's very
Have
not
you
a good
been-
idea to do that at night. The getting off of the roads at night is a bad idea.
Is there?
Alright,
Are
and
there
how
dangers?
far have you been? Have you made it to Valaki?
No.
Oh.
We were
Have
on
you
our
been
way
to
to the wind. We were on our way to the windmill before we lost everybody.
Oof.
Ah.
But it was
What was it that brought down your party?
the wolves.
You are a horrible person and I love you dearly.
She now understands.
Okay. He sent text.
It was the wolves. They
Which,
chased us. They chased us from Barovia.
the black wolves or the normal wolves?
Both of them. The black ones didn't see me. That's the only reason I got away as well as I did.
I am sorry for your losses.
So am I. I was gonna marry her.
Her?
Yeah, my wife died
I'm sorry.
to the wolves.
Sorry to hear that.
How
That's
is
why
she
I'm
your
after
wife
Strahd.
if you were gonna marry her?
You're getting ahead of me.
So she. Sorry, that was kind of morbid.
That was extremely morbid.
You still love me?
I didn't hear what you said.
Or is
I'd
this
asked
like
him,
some forewarning that I should be watching out for? Like,
You said his
I'm
wife
gonna feed
died.
my wife
You
to
said
the
he was
wolves.
gonna marry her. I'm like, how is she your wife if you
Oh,
don't?
okay.
So, which route then do you recommend we take?
I don't know which route's the safest. Neither of them sound any safer to me.
I was thinking about actually going back to the pastry lady's place to.
The windmill.
The windmill.
Yes, but you said lost your entire party.
Well, yeah, but the wolves were chasing us. So I don't know if it was because we were going to the windmill or because of whatever. Well, we have one guy that was in the group who was just a little bit light on the intelligence side, and when Strahd decided to come visit us, he decided he was just going to chide Strahd, and yeah.
Huh.
He sicked something like 9 of his wolves after us, so we ran. I hid in the shadows when trying to figure out how to take them down, and before I had a chance to get set, I watched all of them go, and everybody died.
Fair enough.
Strange as it was, they couldn't see me in the shadows. It's weird.
Might be useful later.
What shadows?
What
shadows?
Oh, the bushes I was hiding in.
Interesting.
I mean, they saw a couple of the other ones that were hiding in the bushes in the shadows, but they looked right at me and didn't appear to see me. I'm not exactly sure why.
Fair enough. Well, what do you think? Should we track down this pastry lady, or should we go to the next village?
I will follow wherever you lead.
I thought you were staying here.
Madam Eva can only hide me from a time.
Right.
However, if you were to go back to the windmill, well, yes, I suppose I could hide you for a day or two. If you wanted to just go that far, but anything more than 2 days, I think Strahd would catch on. Well, then it can be settled. I can wait here for a little bit if needed. And now I am Indian. My name is Rajesh.
Thank you very much.
I would love to protect Irina as much as possible. However, I don't want to put the Vistani village in danger.
Okay, so we get this done in 2 days and call it.
Probably would be.
It is up to you. Within 2 days, I know I could protect her and keep things going.
And then we make our way back here and make our way to Crest.
Yes.
Of course you come back. I would love to see your beautiful face again. And you.
I wouldn't mind coming back.
And she goes and she gives you a hug goodbye, and you don't even feel her leg move, and it like wraps up around your back and comes over your shoulder, and then back down. Like her flexibility is on par.
You are the riffraff to her Magenta.
I was gonna say, or Mystique.
And I, of course, young lady, would be happy to spend time with you and talk to you of the horses. You hear an acquiescing from like across the camp.
Well then.
So, let's do that then. Let's find out if this pastry lady really is a witch, and
Do you know
probably
anything
stop her.
about the pastry lady?
Only that she steals children, but she only takes the ones with souls.
What?
Oh.
So,
souls, you know, the things that are inside your body that make you
I
alive.
couldn't hear the word.
It's all Vistani. We have souls. Souls in Barovia. When someone dies here, their soul cannot escape. Not everyone who is born has a soul. Those who do, they have bounced back many times, and they always seem to want to cling to hope. Sometimes it is in nothing more than the expression of a bright color. Some item that makes them feel that much more alive. They have a zest for life and emotion. I can't anymore. Emotion that others do not.
I would like to know who Lucy is, just because it's interesting to know how much
The souls
for us
do
to
not
corrupt.
remember their past lives. At least I don't think they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not be surprised from what you've said of this young girl that maybe a past warrior, maybe even a Vistani who fell in love with someone who did not love her back, has come again to fight another day. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. You have chances.
That's a callback.
It's not, by the way, but it. I love you. I'm sorry.
And
It was a good callback.
if that's the case, I think it is definitely time that we pay this lady a visit.
Mm-hmm.
I would take care.
I don't know.
Someone who is confident enough to steal children? No power of light comes from that. That is darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the village, even though it may go through some suffering, will be better off if we took care of that particular darkness.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Besides the fact that the village of Barovia might actually gain hope back
Mhm.
more.
Yes, and I think it will be just a little bit of a smack into Strahd's face if we give him a
I
little
would
hope.
love to slap him across the face. I hate games. Especially this type of a game.
I don't mind him so much,
I like
especially when
puzzles.
I play my own. I have thoughts that hopefully may come to fruition before this is all played out.
The word is.
Alright, so you guys agree to leave Irina back at the Vistani camp. You decide you are going to check out the windmill, and you begin the trek back. You do believe that you can reach the windmill itself. Hold on, let me think. In about 7 hours
Okay.
of steady travel.
So we would have, I mean,
It's
short
about
stint to
7:30
stay there
in the
type of
morning
thing.
now.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
you could feasibly do it before nightfall. Or you could stop back at the village, but you don't think you'll get the warmest of receptions there.
Right.
Right.
So you guys decide to head out. It is about 10 minutes early, but we are going to wrap here to give you guys a chance to level, because I know some of you guys are branching out, as it were, into some different proficiencies. That way you can give a chance to answer any questions. And hopefully 2 weeks from now, everything will be back. Thank you, everybody who has been tossing themes out. I have more than I know what to do with. We're actually in a tie for the next theme. So I'm going to make a call on that one. As not everyone has Renfest gear, we are going to go with PJs and pastries. So 2 weeks from now, it's PJs and pastries. Onesie pajamas are encouraged if they have ears, even better. 'Cause why the hell not? And then a pastry of your choice, which will actually be perfect. I just realized that now.
Going back to the pastry lady.
Back to the cupcakes with the pastry at one time.
Yeah, so bring a pastry of, we'll just do a pastry exchange. So it can be anything from bread to donuts to muffins to cupcakes to
I'm bringing
baklava to
Saltine crackers.
is not a pastry.
Just add some jelly on it.
You're gonna come with a flickin' toaster strudel, aren't you? I heard that thought. So yeah, just bring something. It doesn't have to be anything big. Just PJs and pastries. We'll roll with it. Saturday is Loramir with DM Thaco, and we will be doing our Dragon Mini giveaway. You do have to be present to win and a follower of ours. I'm gonna hold that last thought. What you doing?
As a thought, it will be something similar to this.
Da, 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 da.
We have one on order. As soon as it shows up, we will contact the winner and discuss some finer details about what we're going to do with the mini.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
We're all gonna die.
Some of the other theme ideas that have been tossed out have been hilarious and amazing. Everything from gothics and goblins to
That would be fun.
yes,
Would you like to be gothic today or goblin?
from everything
Goblins.
to parasols and pantaloons and villains and it went downhill. There was a bit of a brainstorm session the other day at Double Dane Games, and by the time we were done, there was this entire group of people like shouting out ideas that had no idea what they were shouting out ideas for.
That's amazing!
It just kind of grew into its own thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that is the plan for 2 weeks from now. We will do PJs and pastries. As always, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I know a couple of you had to bounce out early. I did receive your messages, so when you see this, when you watch later, thanks for all the support. Yeah, couldn't do this without you guys. So what? That's a callback anyhow. Have a great night, and unless DM Thaco has any other... Alright, good night, stay safe, bye!
Have a wonderful time.
Have a wonderful time.